And welcome, folks. For the next 4 hours, we are going to attempt to bring you the most important games in the East region this afternoon on Week 10, 11/4/17. I'm Frank Rossi, James Baker joining me here on In the Huddle. And we are calling it the D3BlitzER show because we are going to just blitz through different games, 11 of them that we have rights to today, to give you basically where the races are, where they stand as the day continues throughout. The 9 conferences will be represented, at least 7 of them, with video that we'll be presenting to you. And James, any thoughts before we jump into our first game real quick here?
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how this all goes. I'll be probably looking down, tweeting from our @D3FB Huddle Twitter handle to letting some updates and all that. Hopefully get some folks following along. But yeah, I think there's plenty of good games for us to cover. Unfortunately, we couldn't get approval from every school we would have liked, but hey, assuming this all goes well next season, will be a lot easier to do.
You build yourself on many assumptions here right now, so well, first things first.
And assumptions makes what of you and me too, right?
Well, let's play this Wesley Salisbury game first. I think it's a good way to start here, and our good friends Sean Green and Jason Bowen will be on the call for this game. We're going to try to feature our play-by-play and color commentators as much as we can today as we represented them. Salisbury's got the ball, and here we go.
Ball on the left hash mark. The tight formation, the wide receivers tight to the formation, triple option. The option's going right. Lewis keeping it, and Sam Romana gets him by the elbows, and then bringing him down will be, that is Stephon Woodruff for the tackle, the 45-yard line. Gain of 2 for Lewis will set up a 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, Lewis decides to keep that time. Good job by Stephen Yorkman fighting pressure on the nose. As Wesley, it's more of a 34 look. We're used to that 4-3 look, but kind of a 34 look for the Wolverines here today.
2nd down and 8, ball right at the center of the field. Lewis signals something back to his super back. Option right, it's going to be a counter left. Lewis pitches it, and again it's Curley, 40, 45 numbers to the 50, and into Wesley territory at the 47-yard line, brought down by Mike Zabino right at the 1st down marker. Looks to be a gain of 8 on 2nd and 8, and that is a 1st down Gulls.
I had always thought that that's Curley there. He just does a nice job. Again, they get to the pitch. Capadonna Miller went up over the top over the blocker, but that still allowed Curley to get to the outside. And these 2 wingbacks, Curley and Kolb, are pretty good runners.
Curley with 327 rushing yards coming in. Kolb, kind of the home run hitter, 9 yards a carry, but just 272 rushing yards in the season. 1st and 10 Seagulls at the Wesley 47-yard line. Lewis under center. The option is left. Play action. Back to pass. Lewis sets up, throws over the middle. It's incomplete and out of the hands of a receiver at the 20-yard line. He was looking for Brian Hammond, who got decked. And I believe that was Sharif Jeffries on the hit out there.
Yeah, Hammond went down the field and was pretty well covered, but then bent his route in a little bit to get himself open. And a pretty good pass by Lewis right there, hit him right on the hands. But then arrived Sharif Daniels,
who also hit his hands.
Yes.
With a lot of force. It will be a 2nd down and 10 for Salisbury. 13:20 to go in the opening quarter. No score. This is the opening possession of the game. The Gulls in the flex bone. Option left again. It will be Curley, and this time he is met. DeJean Lowry stays at home and tackles him in the backfield for a 1-yard loss. That is DeJean Lowry's first full tackle for loss.
Oh, you couldn't hear me. Is that what you're trying to tell me, JB?
Yeah, are you talking into the mute button?
Yes, I am. It does a great work. We're just saying, as we get to exciting points in other games, we're going to name the games at noontime. We should have done this up front, but Framingham State, Westcon, Husson, Alfred State, RPI, Rochester, and Fitchburg State, Plymouth State are the other 4 games that we have rights to in the 12 o'clock block. And we'll add a lot of games at the 1 p.m. block and drop off of some of them as the results become determined pretty much. There's a nice... Well, boy, I don't know how he got that ball off there, but nonetheless, Salisbury lucky to retain possession right now, and they're going to be forced to punt. So we'll be watching to see what happens with that. And we're looking right now. Let's see if we can switch over games for a second here. And we've got the, I believe, Westcon Framingham State game coming up here in a moment. And the importance of that game, if you want to tell folks as we get that ready.
Sure. So basically, at this point, the MASCAC is a three-team race between Western Connecticut, Framingham State, and Plymouth State. Plymouth beat Framingham in overtime a few weeks ago, but has a loss to WestCon from earlier in the season. So basically, WestCon controls their destiny as far as the Pool A automatic qualifier bid goes. Plymouth State needs to win today and hope that Framingham wins as well to get that bid.
Let's go full screen into this one, and we can still talk for a moment if you would like about it. And you can see right now we are looking at a 0-0 game. Wish there was more of a crowd for this game. This is a big game out there.
Yeah. Well, I know our friend Matt Noonan's on the PA mic. I don't know if we'll hear him over the over the video broadcast, but this should be a pretty good game and evenly matched teams. I did hear it in a little chilly there up in the Northeast, so I think game temps are probably in the 45, 50 degree range. I don't know if that affects the crowd necessarily, but yeah, we'd like to see more folks out there for sure.
Patrick McHugh, no relation to Dave McHugh, I don't believe, is on the call here. Let's listen to him.
Coordinator Ainsley Rosenbach for the play call.
Yeah, I'm going to show it now. What's going on?
4 down lineman again for the Colonials. Play clock at 7. Wojcinski in the shotgun. Right shifted to the left of Wojcinski. Fakes the pass. Throws it out to the far sideline. Pass is completed on the quick screen. And a good move making up the field inside the 30, almost to the 25. Excellent play, Keneal Bruce, to catch the pass and drive those legs forward to pick up the Rams' third first down of this opening drive. They're now just outside of the red zone. Ball spotted on the far hash at the 26-yard line of WestCon. Two receivers on both sides of the formation, right to the right of Wojcinski. Clock ticking with 12:34 to play in the opening quarter, no score. Rams with their first possession. Handoff goes to Curon right up the middle. Squeaks through a hole and picks up about 4 yards, taken down at the 21-yard line. Two receivers near sideline, one receiver far sideline on a 2nd and 6 from the 22-yard line. Wojcinski in shotgun, right to the right. And off again, Curon right running off left tackle, and he's dragged down by the shoulder pads. Tackle was made by...
So we're going to break in here and actually show you that we have the Wesley-Salisbury game. Wesley was pinned deep with the Salisbury punt earlier, now punting it away, and Salisbury looked to have very good field position, well, until this punt goes about 55 yards at this point. So Wesley sort of dug into their own hole there, and Salisbury basically gets the ball back where they punted it from.
Yeah, no, I think that the defenses are going to have a lot to say in this contest. But it's interesting, Frank. For some reason, I always thought the Seagulls were more of a triple option offense, and they don't look like a triple option offense to me so far. They've thrown some nice passes down the seam. It almost had a big completion there, if not for that big hit that was laid on by the Wesley defensive back. But yeah, I think the Wesley defense is going to have to come up big to keep the Seagulls in check today.
Looks like a big offsides call there against Wesley coming up. So they got to stay resilient here and avoid penalties. As we talked to Coach Trask last week, it was obvious that his team offensively is a different team. The defense is where the strength is. So if they give up points early here against Salisbury, they could dig themselves into an early hole. And defensively, do not want to give up penalty yardage here at this point in time. So something to watch there indeed. In the meantime, I believe we have a change of possession going on in that WestCon FSU game. Let's go back there for a moment here, and you can see that we are getting lined up here. I believe that is Framingham State getting ready to take the ball here. Trying to figure out who's light, who's dark in this game.
Yeah, I think the actually WestCon is probably the team in white because I believe the Framingham colors are black and gold.
So let's see right now. We'll go back to that game in full. And again, we'll go back to Patrick McHugh as we look at what else is going on.
Clone is in a bunch formation, still in the shotgun. Fleeting with two receivers split out just tight to the line of scrimmage on 2nd and 7. Handoff goes to Swinson. He's driven back in the backfield, and this is going to be a loss on the play. Rams defense in the backfield.
And just to confirm what James said, the light colors are Westcon's, Quinn Fleeting, the quarterback for Western Connecticut. But obviously there they lost some yards on a great defensive play by Framingham State there. So remember, as we kind of go back to this, we didn't point out, you can tweet to us using a hashtag today, the D3BlitzER hashtag, ER standing for East Region, obviously. But in the meantime, here we go with Salisbury. It looks like they are
attempting a field goal.
Yeah, it looks like a deep field goal, or is this an extra point that just didn't register on the touchdown?
Working on Nate Fleming out of
see what they say. The
the
kick is good.
To pick up a first down for the Colonials.
That is a point after. So it looks like Damian King broke off a 58-yard touchdown. So, wow, that's a big gash up the middle there. So yeah, should be 7-0 Salisbury.
A little bit of a backbreaker there early on, but obviously it's still very early in that game. We'll take a look at that one a little bit later, a bit more deeply. But in the meantime, let's go back to this Westcon Framingham State game to see this Westcon possession.
Oh, number 31. Hey. Looking pretty sunny up there in Maine, Frank. It looks like the player that was down in the Westcon game was Stevie Swinson, a junior running back out of New Haven, Connecticut. Hopefully he's okay. And in the meantime, now we're watching John Smith and company. Husson can clinch the ECFC title with a win today. And it's off so far, so good if they're up 7-0 with only 4 minutes into the game.
Tight end here to the right side of the formation.
There he goes. Looks like another touchdown for John Smith. All right, looks like the Colonials are back
down at the shoe tops by Tom Burns.
Go ahead, James. You can talk over it.
Good run on 2nd and 10.
Yeah, well, as we said before, the player that was injured was Stevie Swinson, a junior running back out of New Haven, Connecticut. Looks like now number 22, Khalil Patterson, is just took a carry there. So Colonials on the move. Looks like their offense is starting to heat up, Frank.
Indeed. Let's see what they're able to do with it. We'll be monitoring the other games while you're watching this one.
Fires the ball to the far sideline. Pass is completed on the comeback route. This is going to be a big play to Derek Jones down the far sideline, and he's taken down.
And this was what I was thinking could be trouble for Framingham, is if Fleeting and his receiving core could start to stretch the field as we're seeing right now.
So Zatrell Lyons, the sophomore receiver, making that catch. Ball down at the 20-yard line of Framingham. Pickup of 29 yards on first down.
So here we are, the red zone, D3 red zone, D3 blitzer.
There
you go.
Hey, and Frank, just a heads up.
Showing pressure at the line of scrimmage.
James Okiki just scored a 40-yard receiving touchdown for Wesley, so that game just got tied up.
You are correct, sir. Boy, they're scoring so fast in that game, we can't seem to keep up with it here, can we?
I know. It's like move away from this game at your own risk.
Might have to stick around on it, but in the meantime, while they reset, let's go back to this WestCon game.
Leading in the shotgun. Patterson to his left. Rams show pressure again. And up goes to Patterson up the middle. Dances away past the 5 to the 3, the 2, the 1, and he's in for the touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown run from Khalil Patterson, and Western Connecticut State gets on the board first in the first quarter.
Now, Western Connecticut's biggest problem this season seems to be holding on to leads at times. They seem to defensively get a little complacent when they get leads, and it becomes a shootout. Framingham State has the ability to win shootouts, but let's see what they're able to do in their next possession, if they can respond in general here or not. Their first drive didn't go too far, so we'll see what happens there. So these two games are basically going to extra point mode or kickoff mode. Husson right now looks like they are in their normal situations here, waiting for the Pioneers to
but it still made its way through.
Go downfield.
So the Rams
blocked extra point goes through for Western Connecticut, as you can hear.
Wow.
Seconds to play in the first quarter.
7-0. Back to Husson. And Alfred State, it looks like they had that one. They're going to call it a fumble. And it is Husson ball. Wow, Husson, 5.5 minutes into this game, has a chance to go 21-0 and basically say, Alfred State, thanks for coming. This is incredible.
Well, I think what did I do in our lightning predictions, Frank? I think I said 62 points. The Eagles are making me look pretty good right now, but hey. A couple of
and Brian Seidlinger, we wish we could hear from you, but unfortunately we can't right now. So we will continue to bring you the broadcast here. And fake to John Smith, looking downfield, and looks like it's way out of bounds there. Nice. Not often you see houses in the vista in the background of a stadium. Yeah. Maybe St. Lawrence is the only other place I can think of where I've been at. You see that.
Yeah.
Framingham State in the meantime is. A little bit of. Oh, I'm sorry, James. I was just going to say Framingham State is here with the run back, got to the 27-yard line. So let's kind of teeter between these two games for a moment, but we'll also keep our eye on the Wesley game, obviously.
Shake off that last failed fourth down conversion out on the field for their second drive of the afternoon.
Yeah, this one we thought might be a defensive battle, but there's another play by Salisbury, 18 yards, and they're already in Wesley territory, Frank. So they need to switch over to that one.
Yeah, I'm getting there right now for our viewers, and Ken, thanks for joining us here today. Let's listen to Sean Green, Jason Bone call this one.
Time to open up the hole. Flex bone formation, single wide receiver each side. The option is to the right. Pratt takes the handoff and again takes contact and falls forward up to the 30-yard.
There's that option you're talking about. James, I think this big thing with Salisbury is that their option ends up being a passing and running option of sorts. They are a better passing team than most triple option type of teams. Union played them a couple of times back about 8 or 9 years ago, I want to say. And that's what we learned real quick, that their passing ability was far superior than what we were seeing at Springfield back then. In the meantime, it looks like Framingham State drive for a deep ball. It's incomplete. I'll keep my eye on that one. In the meantime, here's a fumble from that option.
Ooh, that's a big loss.
That's a loss of 15 yards, and Jason, we mentioned it coming in.
Sean agrees with you.
Fumbles, they haven't lost a ton of them, but that one knocks them out of field goal range for now.
Yeah, that's what a loss of
15. Yeah, 29 to the 44.
Those hurt. Those hurt.
But that's the gamble you take running this offense.
Yeah,
and we've seen that play work so well.
And Wesley did a nice job, again, getting to the quarterback right away and making him pitch it quick and kind of screwing up the exchange a little bit.
Line to gain is the 23 for the first down on the 3rd and 21. Lewis back to pass. Out to his left, avoids a sack. Still behind the line of scrimmage, makes a fake, makes one man miss to the 40, to the 35, and he's finally out of bounds.
Nice run there.
Past the 30 and all the way out to the 28-yard line, so he gets most of the fumble back. On what is a gain of 16, and now an interesting decision here for Sherman Wood, as suddenly they are possibly in 4-down territory on what is a 4th and very manageable.
In the meantime, you can see that Husson is getting down deep again, and it looks like we have an injury being dealt with around the 5-yard line, but it is Husson ball up 14-0. We'll keep you updated on that.
Give Salisbury the opportunity for 3 points. This will be the longest attempt for Alex Bataco of the season. This will be off the 36-yard line officially. So a 46-yard kick off the left hash mark. The holder is Steindl, the punter. Alex Bataco. And we've got whistles and the play clock has expired. And a delay of game against Salisbury.
Yikes.
Wow.
That's a big one there if you're thinking about going for it.
Yeah, and they're going to punt now,
boy.
I think.
Yeah, they just walked themselves right into a
Aren't too
forced to
many
punt. We'll
Division
make sure
III kickers that could.
good break. It looks like here for
Well, in the
Wesley.
meantime, just want to say that WestCon has the ball back, and here we go with WestCon's first play, I believe, from that change of possession. Gain of about 8 yards on the play for Quinn Fleeting. I'll tell you, if they go up 14-0 here, James, WestCon's hopes start fading away, and so do FSU's hopes go fading away, and so do Plymouth State's when you think about it. Oh, they're going for it here in the Salisbury game.
Trying to escape out to his right, but it's going to be
Oh no,
Stephen
they
York
stopped
with
it.
Gets a piece of
A
him,
big
and
stop by the
he's
Wolverine
got the
defense.
gold, and
Boy, they are taking risks in that game already.
for an ounce.
Yeah, and that's
I mean, I guess if you're Salisbury, you got nothing to lose. Oh wow.
Fleeting with a toss out to Khalil Patterson, who was moving before he really got the football.
Couple of big
Ball
defensive
is
plays
recovered
back to
by the
back right
Rams.
there.
Yep,
And
absolutely.
Western Connecticut State's 25-yard
What I was going to say before we switched over to the Wesley game, Frank, is that
Derek Welcome
Plymouth State is up 7-0 on Fitchburg right now, with about 5 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Take a look at that one
Once
in a little
again.
bit then.
Yep, Plymouth needs to win that game and needs Framingham State to win in order to win the MASCAC.
Rams can cash in on this turnover. 1st and 10, have to get to the 15 to convert for a first down. Trips receivers near sideline. Huron right in the backfield with Wojcinski. Takes the handoff. Wojcinski rolling out of the pocket. Fires it deep into the back of the end zone and incomplete. Looking for Napoleon Miller.
And another thing about the MASCAC, Frank, I think I saw you on Twitter mentioning to someone that even if WestCon wins today, it doesn't mean automatically the MASCAC champion. They still have to win their last game next week.
Absolutely, James. And in the meantime here,
Right.
Falcon helmet and incomplete. And the person whose helmet able to catch that ball either, because that was
having some audio issues
that was,
with our friends
Brett
at
Jensen.
Fitchburg State,
Take a look
Plymouth
at this
State
one
right
from back
now.
behind the end zone. It looks like the
It
Falcons
looks
are trying
like,
to set up a
oh boy,
screen
off the
to
helmet.
Ron Brown Simpson,
Yeah,
but Brown
using
Simpson
your head
is
right
not
there.
open at all.
Yeah,
so
right.
Fitzsimons just
And
tries to dump the
I
ball
think
off
Frank, in
him,
this one,
and he
hey, look
pops
at
his
that.
lineman in
Lyman,
the helmet.
blink.
Well, the
Nice-
time,
nice
penalty
job
to
on the
bring up
replay
fourth
there. I
down,
like it.
believe Brett
Absolutely.
Jensen was downfield. It went off his helmet, and as I said,
Hey,
he
Frank,
was not eligible to
got
catch
an
that
update.
ball.
What we got?
So after the
Rufus
pass,
Russians,
State
what a
now
great
faces
name for running back, just
4th and 9
scored a touchdown
from
for
the
Framingham.
19. It would be about a 30.
Here it is.
Zach Walker out to hold for place kicker Ryan Clifford.
That touchdown was set up by a 21-yard Adam Wojcinski to Napoleon Miller catch, which landed at the 4-yard line, and then Rufus Russians. That's my favorite running back name, I think, of all time. Oh, and there's a block.
Doesn't go through. So both teams block the opposing team's PAT, but for Western Connecticut State, it keeps it out. There's a flag down on the field, though.
That's interesting. This extra point could be crucial in the grand scheme of things. Will they get another try at it is the question.
Yeah.
The team stay on the field. This one
right.
appears to go against Westcon.
Salisbury starting off their next drive with pretty good field position after a sack and then a short punt. And a nice return by Blake Joppy gets the ball to their 45-yard line. So Salisbury's at 1st and 10 at their own 45. Short field. We'll see if the Wolverines can.
Yep, let's watch this extra point, then we'll go back over to there. Absolutely. Well, perhaps we won't be watching this extra point.
The live stats have already updated it as being good, so.
It probably is. We may have a slight delay on some of our video, which is fine by me because if we miss action, it means we can go back to it.
Yep. Better snap, line drive kick.
Wow.
Missile through the uprights.
Let's go back to Sean and Jason at Wesley.
To be able to find that open receiver. Gain of 8 officially will set up a 2nd down and 2. Option is right. And pitching it right side. Nice catch there by Kolb, and he will get the 1st down as he drives across the 45. The pitch was a little behind him, but he drives to the 42-yard line. A gain of 5 on 2nd and 2. It's a 1st down, Seagulls.
Yeah, good job. Nice catch by number 2 there, Kolb. Always been impressed with him the last few years. I think he's probably their best runner as a slot back. I know he missed a game earlier this year with injury, but he's a good football player.
Averaging over 9 yards a touch this season. The numbers certainly pan out on that statistic. 1st and 10 Seagulls as we reach the 2-minute mark of this opening quarter. Option is right. Handoff is the super back and breaking some tackles and driving forward and breaking free at the 30-yard line and getting a 1st down to the 28 is Malik Pratt. And that super back has been solid so far here. A gain of 15 for Pratt. That is a 1st down, Gulls.
Yeah, had him stacked up for maybe a gain of 3, but Pratt, at 6'3", you figure, hey, he's a big, tall guy. It's going to be easy to chop him down, but he kept those legs driving.
He still
ran out of a few tackles.
He's still 222 pounds, and that's still a load to bring down. And
hey, Frank, I got another score update for you.
10 from the Wesley 28.
Go ahead.
Option is left.
In the Liberty League race, RPI needs to win to stay in the hunt, and kind of not by surprise, they're up 14-0 early in the 1st quarter over Rochester.
Okay, we'll keep our eye on that one.
Ball a little more.
In the meantime, double boxing for a moment here.
50 yards. I think he did fairly
Pittsburgh
well in
State,
terms of running the
Columbus State.
football. It's just going to be a matter of throwing the football, I should say. Just a matter of getting his confidence. I mean, we saw a couple of instances in which he was a little off in terms of the accuracy, but I guess we've always known that about Fitzsimons. He's not perfect.
He's going to be hit in the backfield and escapes. No, he's going to be sacked at the 31-yard line.
Flag down there, though, I think we can see.
Yeah, you have to give Wesley's defense some credit. I mean, other than the long run, they seem to have been able to make some plays when they need to keep this Seagulls offense in check. They're kind of a little bend but don't break in spite of the one long touchdown run.
Whether Wesley wants this to be a 3rd and about 13 or 14.
Offense number 55 is declined. Holding offense number 75 is accepted. 10-yard penalty for 2 seconds down.
They catch both tackles there, Josh.
And Seagulls have kind of been their own worst enemy. This is not the first time they've gotten called for a penalty on a key down.
Become a 2nd and 21.
Yeah, good.
Speaking of the RPI game, it was Mike Tavinis with a 29-yard touchdown, and Marino, I can't say this guy's name,
Marinopolis.
To Connor Davies for 87 yards for the 2 Engineers scores since they lead 14-0 with under 5 minutes to go in that one.
The ball was at the 28. It's now resting at the 38.
I love your attempts at Greek pronunciations.
Yeah, I got nothing, man.
This will be a 3rd down and 21.
And, well, not relevant to the to the Liberty League race per se. Hobart leads St. Lawrence 20-7 in the third quarter.
This two-headed rushing attack for the Panthers, Baniskevich and Hamilton.
St. Lawrence had a chance last week against RPI, that's for sure.
Now Plymouth State will go from the shotgun. Hamilton to the right.
And
handoff goes to him straight up the middle. Big hole this time. David Hamilton has a first down. Stop the clock, move the chains. The Panthers are in Falcon territory again.
Check your end for me if you hear it. Let me know, but we're just not getting it on this speed.
Tight end formation gives them more players.
I can hear the commentary.
To open up those holes. And all they've got to do is find the hole, run through it, get some yards, maybe move those chains.
It would help if I actually hit the right button on my end, right?
These are not small guys either.
Hamilton 5'7", 192, Baniskevich 5'10", 175.
This is another new man coming into the backfield for Plymouth State. Nick Lancia, number 44, you see lined up as the tailback there. And Lancia will get the carry. He's hit in the backfield, spins out to the left, trying to get something. He is finally speared down. Malik Crowford driving him into the turf.
Gets very little of a gain. His helmet also came off at the end of that play, so he is going to have to come off the field for this. Lancia just 5 feet 5 inches tall, but look at how
could have been a late hit on that one.
He was able to shake off.
For a second,
by
I
the
thought
way,
you were
this
going to say, look
is
at that hair.
Plymouth State with the ball here in the light colors.
Look at that man's hair.
That's right. They're the mountain men like to wear white and green.
Before you got that haircut level hair.
Like they're native New Hampshire.
Minnesota ice hockey.
No, and fir trees.
Yours is better.
This game being played at
Second
Fitchburg
down
State.
and 9 for Plymouth State at the Falcon 45. Edwards back to pass, looks to his left, throws, passes very high, incomplete, probably an uncatchable ball, to be honest. Intended receiver was Chris Kelly, one of the captains for Plymouth. And there, as we said, are the flowing locks of Nick Lancia.
So watch the replay here. Long throw, left side. Yeah, no chance.
Good coverage on that one.
Not with that defense played there by Morikita.
Now Plymouth State facing their toughest third down of the day, 3rd and 9. Ball spotted at the Falcon 46-yard line.
Jordan Sukow's in the backfield now.
Edwards looks to his left again, throws high and incomplete, once again over the head of his intended receiver. And Plymouth State is going to have to punt.
He wanted Terrell Lewis there, the freshman from Nashua, but he overthrew him. And Lewis's 6'3" reach, not able to come up and get that. He also mistimed it.
Speaking of a punt, Frank, Framingham State just took over after a Westcon punt. They are already about to cross the 50-yard line.
Set them up
Well,
deep
since
in
Plymouth
their
State's
own
going to punt, let's go back to that game.
A few yards on first down, gain of about 3.
Yeah.
Second down.
Framingham is on the move here.
Ball spotted on the near hash. At the
Punt went out of bounds for Plymouth State at the Fitchburg State 12-yard line, just in case you're wondering.
This time, Kieran Wright shifts over to his right. 2 receivers on both sides of the formation. Takes a handoff to right. Quick bubble screen. Pass is incomplete. And the Rams sideline wants a flag. Both Nazir.
We might need to jump back over to the Wesley game, Frank. The Seagulls are in the red zone, threatening to score. They just have a first down inside the Wesley 15-yard line.
The play, though, brings up a 3rd down and 7.
Well, it looks like an extra point attempt actually occurred there and was blocked.
14:29 to go in the second quarter. Our new score, Salisbury University 13, Wesley College 7.
Yeah, the touchdown was by Brady Curley. He ran for 15 yards on that first down. So, 13-7 Salisbury.
Your destination point. Brewers Outlet always has a...
Back to Westcon, FSU.
Tackle made by Douglas Katz. They might have to bring the chains into measure. No, they won't. First down signaled. Excellent play made by Napoleon Miller to make a man miss at midfield and then stretch it to the chains. Rams keep the chains moving. 1st and 10. Now at the Colonials' 47-yard line. Ball spotted on the near hash. Thomas and Miller split out on the near sideline. Stephen Bean flex at the tight end position on the left side of the formation. Keneal Bruce split out far sideline. Wojcinski in the shotgun. Handoff. Running off left tackle is Kieran Wright. He's wrapped up past the 45-yard line and down at the 44. Kevin Maxson making the stop for Western Connecticut State. Gain of 3 on first down brings up a 2nd and 7. Again, same formation, 2 receivers near side, 1 receiver far sideline. Bean split out on the left side of the formation.
Well,
I want to go back to this Fitchburg State-Plymouth State game for a moment here because Fitchburg State has achieved midfield.
I think that helps a lot for him as well.
Okay.
That was a really interesting
In the meantime,
play
a
call,
sack
too, for the Falcons.
occurred
Samil was lined up as the
in the
tight end
WestCon
on the
game.
right
Framingham
side,
State was
came
sacked.
to the left flat.
That's a backward
pass.
pass.
On first down to Javon Brown-Simpson. He gets some blockers in front of him. This is going to go in the books as a 9-yard carry, I believe.
Indeed it will be, because that was a lateral, absolutely. But Brown-Simpson getting to the flank, and it seems like the run D is a little weaker out.
Oh, nice presentation by Fitchburg State. Indeed, we wish we had the commentator names. We were not able to get those ahead of time.
The same way. And I think that's something the Falcons are starting to exploit here with under 10 minutes to go in this second quarter.
These long handoffs, quick passes to the flat, even in that case a backwards pass. Now second down, handoff straight up the middle. Javon Brown-Simpson gets a couple yards in.
It's looking like Fitchburg's
Bumped out of bounds inside the 25-yard line.
Oh, big
A
play
tight
there.
end screen completed to Stephen Bean. Just what the doctor ordered for Framingham State. They keep the chains moving for a big 3rd down and long conversion.
That was after that sack that I had told you about. Let's go back, though, see Fitchburg State and their drive.
Brown-Simpson remains as the tailback. 2 receivers and Samil on the far side. Handoff goes to Brown-Simpson straight up the middle. This time he's got a rugby scrum behind him.
Well, I think we got about 20 minutes until the Union Ithaca game kicks off, Frank, but RPI is out in front 28-0. They have just been, seems to be scoring at will. So we can check that one off the list. We'll see if the Shoes game next weekend has playoff implications or not, but nice work by RPI today.
Absolutely.
That's a 58-yard gain, and it'll be half the distance to the goal.
Wow.
I don't know what Ellis was thinking there.
And in the meantime, Plymouth State actually gets the ball back.
And the Panthers take possession.
That was a big turnover. Their D are on their heels on that possession, so that's a big play for the Panthers.
There's a replay before we go back to the Wesley possible score. They're in the red zone.
Number 13 was the
Boy, he's close to being out of bounds as he recovered, but they say he got it. In the meantime, Wesley.
Step to the 10, breaks the tackle to the 5, and finally be driven down at the 4-yard line. Zach Wolfgreen able to prevent the possible touchdown. It's a gain of 4. We'll set up a 2nd and goal from just inside the 5.
Yeah, not much there that time for Lee as he was able to pick his way ahead.
So Wesley to the flea flicker. I can't remember the last time I saw Wesley run that.
I don't know if I've ever seen Chip run a flea flicker.
Offensive coordinator Chip Knapp. 2nd and goal for Wesley inside the 5. A tight end to each side.
Here we go. I think something good's coming up here, Frank.
Lee to his right. Handoff is to Lee, running left side. He's got the 5, racing to the pylon.
That's a touchdown.
Touchdown, Wesley.
Well, that blocked extra point from earlier comes in big here now, right?
Yeah, sure does. It was a nice run by E.J. Lee, who you interviewed a couple weeks ago on our On the Road segment. Kind of a soft-spoken young man, but he lets his actions do the talking for him.
Hey, why not?
20 touchdowns for the sophomore. That's pretty impressive.
Absolutely.
Nick Brune. He'll kick out of the hold of Alex Kemp. Both holders today, by the way, from Caesar Rodney. Snap is good. Hold is good. Kick is blocked.
Oh, my goodness. Are you kidding me?
It's picked up by Salisbury.
Oh, my gosh.
The runner was down, but Salisbury
wow.
gets the blocked kick. And could these two teams be any
special teams play coming into play here in the end.
Very symmetrical game going on there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
In the meantime,
Caron right in the
second quarter has just begun here.
Looking
Framingham
in the back
State
of the
with
end zone, fires to receivers and caught. Showing the football.
Signal would be great.
Is Keneal Bruce? Does he have it? Yes. Touchdown, Framingham State. A diving catch in the back of the end zone from Keneal Bruce.
Like the ref had to. He's like, man.
Well, the guy in the goal line,
as there was
the guy in the goal line always had his
Wojcinski,
hands up, so I'll give him credit. There was a guy in the back that just couldn't make a signal.
Conferred to see whether or not Bruce had possession. Showed the ball to the officials, and he did indeed have it. A 10-yard touchdown hookup. And the Rams take a 13-7 lead 10 seconds into the second quarter.
Oh, it's good news for Plymouth State fans.
Yeah, because if Plymouth State wins and Framingham State wins, this is over. It's Plymouth State's
Clifford on to attempt
conference in the MASCAC.
Yeah. And that would be interesting from the standpoint that both Plymouth State and Husson sort of, the far, way up in the North Country, could create some interesting scheduling challenge. Another, what is it with PDPs today, Frank? Man, that is like the third or fourth
action.
Gosh.
Well, it's 13-7 there. Let's go back to the other side of the MASCAC race here, and Plymouth State versus Fitchburg State. Plymouth State with the ball.
Once again.
Setting up as a receiver to the left side. We haven't seen this 3-receiver set for Plymouth that much yet.
Handoff goes to Hamilton, running to his left. He is dragged down in the backfield. Absolutely nothing for him there. Looked like that was Javon White making the tackle.
Tried to find the hole on the left side.
Another quick score update. Frank Husson is up 28-0 at the start of the second quarter, so looks like that one's pretty much in the books.
Yeah, we have 3 early games that are really dominating right now, and we've been flipping between them, and we'll continue to do so. And then at 1 o'clock, we're going to have all heck break loose, and we'll tell you what's coming up as we get closer to it.
Another quick score update. Coach Toop and company are up 20-14
Edwards under pressure, ducks
down
out
at
of it,
Kings
throws
Point.
to his right, pass is incomplete. Falls at the feet of Colin Letty. Well defended by Fitchburg State.
I mentioned before that Plymouth has only conceded 3 sacks all year. They were very close here. Edwards just
Wow, that was a nice move by the QB to get away with that one, though.
The helmet of Letty, the senior from Natick, would have been his 6th catch of the season. But instead, looks like Jeremy Martin will be back out there.
The pressure was not successful in forcing a sack, but it was able to disrupt the timing of that route. Wound up with the incomplete pass. So Fitchburg State forces another punt. This kick is away, end over end, taken in at about the 26-yard
You
line.
switch it back over to the Wesley game, Frank. It looks like Salisbury could be in some trouble. They're pinned pretty deep. The Wolverine defense just had a 6-yard tackle for loss. Samir Manna, who I believe you also interviewed, and on the road segment. So, Samer, that's right. Sorry, I'm not good with names apparently.
Handoff inside to the super back and trying to spin free, but unable to do so.
All right, so this is going to be a 3rd and long coming up, like a
make that 4th, I think.
Yeah, 4th down. Okay, that was 3rd down. So here comes the punt unit, and if I was Coach Drass, I think I would send the kitchen sink after this one. If they can't block on extra points, let's go for the punt.
Just a ball there to hand it off to your super back and hope you can bust something.
Which has happened today a couple of times.
Although this formation does look like they're going to probably just let him get the ball off and try to get good field position.
10:40 to go in the second quarter.
Not a lot of pressure there, but that is not a good punt. But it gets a nice roll out to about looks like the 38 or 37.
In the meantime, let's go back to the Fitchburg State game where Fitchburg State has the ball.
Just short of midfield. Could be a gain of a couple.
And they give him just the 2 yards on that one. And we notice Fitzsimons, he's going with these short passes, some of them sort of lateral, some of them not so much. Tries to shake off the tackle there from Malcolm Huseman. And of course, once again, Fitzsimons trying the hard count, doesn't work, as it always doesn't. They check the numbers.
It looks like in Framingham, Quinn Fleeting's about to cross the 50-yard line, so the Colonels...
Fitzsimons back to pass on second down, looks to his right, throws right, pass is complete.
Hand off to Patterson, sticks his foot in the ground, met at the 45-yard line, and dumped there. Joshua Onojuego again in on the stop, along with Nathan Fleming, and that brings up a 4th down. Good stop by the Framingham defense.
So if you're wondering how Framingham State could win the conference still, it would take a Plymouth State loss and a win by them, and then another win by them next week.
And after some momentary
hesitation, right now, it's not quite in order, but Plymouth State has Fitchburg State perhaps knocking on their door a little bit here. I think a roughing the passer penalty just got assessed on Plymouth State. Let's go back to that one.
They had a kickoff out of bounds. They had that, and I swear they had something else. They had an OPI.
Oh, yeah, they did.
They're 3/4 of the way there, and we're still in the second period. How about that? Falcons get a nice break after the penalty. 1st and 10 at the Panther 39. Fake the jet sweep, handoff to Brown Simpson. Cuts to his right and then is shoved down. Gain of a couple for him. Call it 2nd down and 8 now.
2 Panthers there. Grant McGregor, Matt Shea, there to team up to take down Brown Simpson.
Looks like their drive stalled, Frank, so Framingham is going to get the ball back.
The ball now.
I read my mind. I was about to say it myself.
Back in Panthers territory again.
Fitchburg State doing almost all of their work.
There was an interception in Wesley.
Shotgun formation with one back, 3 receivers, and the tight end Samil. This time Samil splits out a little bit as a receiver. Handoff goes to Brown Simpson, however, and he is hit at the line, spins out of one tackle just to be swarmed by another.
Wow. Didn't blow the whistle.
Crowd on the near sideline wishes the referees would blow the bleeping whistle already.
Well, there you go. Brown Simpson just didn't want to go down. In the end, they finally blow the whistle with Prince Gabali and a bear hug from behind. Trying to do his best to get forward progress. In the end, didn't really get much of anything, and it's already 3rd down.
This game is quickly going to halftime,
Gabali
as you can
is
see.
Just all over Brown Simpson. That really was a late whistle.
We're going to stay tuned on it. We'll watch Salisbury on the ball, as you said. They're at the 43-yard line right now.
3rd down and 9. The Falcons will take time out.
Ikari Ellis intercepted Burrows a few plays ago.
During the timeout,
the Seagulls are back on the move.
Slot backs to each side. The option is right. Handoff inside, and Pratt's going to drive across the 45 and spin his way down to the 48-yard line. Kind of a whirling dervish kind of running style to him. As he takes the contact and just spins forward for a game of 6. It will set up a 2nd down and 4.
Yeah, Yorkman in there on the tackle.
And so, Frank, if for some reason Wesley doesn't win this game, does that mean next week Salisbury versus Frostburg is the de facto title game? So we get 2 weeks back-to-back?
Well, if Salisbury wins this, then all 3 teams are still alive technically.
Okay.
What it'll come down to is if Frostburg wins that game, all 3 teams would have 1 loss in conference at that point and all to each other. And I believe opponent's winning percentage is a tiebreaker. Yeah, OOWP would be the tiebreaker if it hasn't changed in the last few years. Which, go figure why that's the case, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
At least he kept that outside contained and forced Curley to cut back inside. That could have been a big play.
Let's go back to the Fitchburg State game.
Looking to his left, looking under pressure, and he is dragged down from behind. Great defense by Plymouth State, and Cam McGee is able to make the sack.
It's interesting, if you're watching on television, of course you are, we could all see Cam McGee coming from behind there. It was just going to be a matter of...
It's like watching a horror movie. He's behind you. He's behind you. He's behind you. I got you.
And I think even at the end, Fitzsimons sensed that somebody was behind him and decided to try to run for as much as he could get. But by then, it was already over there. So let's see what the Falcons are going out with. I
think they're punting.
Looks like they're punting from the 33.
And you know what? It's 4th and 11.
Injured player right now for Salisbury. Can't see the number, but we'll keep you updated.
End kick. It's going to bounce at the 20 and take a big Panther roll. It's going to wind up.
I'm curious to see what Plymouth State decides to do here. If they're just going to kind of sit on the ball or take a knee, or if they're going to maybe try throwing deep a couple times and see what happens.
Fleeting on the roll.
Wow, look at this.
Pass is incomplete. A dangerous
close
pass. Looking for
Lucas D'Souza. Double coverage.
And in
a little
coverage
risky there.
Was Kenneth Bartolo for Framingham. Incomplete on 1st and 10. Brings up a 2nd and 10.
Or something. Tried to pin them inside. They got a bad bounce on that.
I think I saw him rotate the ball sideways. We've seen who's the punter for the Rams who's really good?
Like
Johnny Hecker.
Panthers are going to keep pushing.
I think he was going for that, and it's a risky play. 1st and 10 now. Plymouth State at their own 24-yard line. Handoff goes straight up the middle. Absolutely.
A little safe call with a run up the middle there.
Baniskevich is brought down.
Probably going to just let the clock run down. Maybe throw it.
Game, a lot of emotion. Again, the stakes
Just getting the player off the field took a while to get that one off.
Yeah, that doesn't look good. Hopefully it'll be okay.
Back to Fitchburg.
Timeouts are as they are. I don't expect Fitchburg to start burning them after this, though.
Yeah, Fitchburg can't get the ball back with their timeouts. They only have 2 left.
Well, this is the second down play, though. But
Quinn Fleeting was taken down in the backfield, by the way.
Play action fake pass to the right is
Nope,
very
that's a
high and
yikes.
well incomplete.
Not a really well thrown ball on that play there, which is doesn't really help him if the clock stops. So
35 seconds left in the half, and then let's go back check to see if the Salisbury game gets interesting here.
53% on the season.
I think it just did. Look at this. They're at the 25-yard line now. With about 9:57 remaining, there's plenty of time in this half for Salisbury to tack on some more points.
Let's go to the end of the first half, though, in Fitchburg.
In fact, hand the ball off. Baniskevich just dives into the line.
That'll probably be the last play there.
And the Falcons will indeed call timeout.
Well, with that
helmet came off.
They have one left in their pocket. Might as well.
28 seconds, why not?
Try to make something happen after all. You never know.
I wonder if the Falcons had called timeout after the first run, maybe the Panthers would have run on second down. Oh my God, are we having a legitimate discussion of game theory, or has Twitter ruined that for us?
I have no idea.
I don't think we can ever talk about game theory.
I wish I had been watching more of these Plymouth State games. These guys are great. Or I guess this is the Fitchburg announcers. These guys are right.
The Mascac in general here.
15
Yeah.
seconds at the
Another
looks like
injury here for
looks like Odell
Salisbury.
Beckham there.
Yeah, let's though pay attention to this. Salisbury with another injury. 71, it looks like, offensive lineman.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Absolutely.
And quick shout out to our friend Wally Wabash. Greg Thomas has tweeted out. He's enjoying the show. So thanks, Greg.
High snap of that punt. And Greg, thank you very much for watching us.
Taken in, dropped by Acosta at the 30-yard line. Gets out of
Well, looks like he's going to have a decent return here. Well,
take a shot. Why not try to go downfield for a field goal possibility? Yeah.
Yeah, or try to get a pass interference call, and then you might have a chance at a field goal or something. Yeah.
For one 20 or 30-yard play, a quick
Premium State back with ball. I just want to say it's in WestCon territory. We'll get to that game once we go to halftime here.
Yep.
That will hurt.
I covered Fitchburg a couple seasons ago when I did the preseason write-up for them, and I know they've got some good athletes on this squad, so I wouldn't be surprised if they just try to do a launch or sideline pass to try to get something set up.
Key on the pitch. Last year, Wesley did a great job.
Oh, boy, okay. I'm at a 10.
A little tougher for him.
Actually, the 5-yard line. Wow, looking like Salisbury's going in for a score here, Frank.
Yep.
They got him a couple times today.
That was a wrinkle Salisbury wasn't expecting.
We'll get that back in 1 second, folks.
On defense, after a very worrisome first drive, you have to be pretty satisfied with the defensive effort they were able to put up.
All right, looks like we're at halftime.
7 points, and we do have a ball
Plymouth
game
State's
going into the second half.
helping their cause with a 7-0.
Meanwhile, on the offensive side of the ball,
There.
it's been successful in fits and starts, I would say. They had some...
Oh, and hello there, folks. Let's go back to the game.
There you go. Here we go. Looking like we got...
so tough on the goal line.
And the handoff is
that looks like a touchdown to me.
Yep, 19-13. Let's watch the extra point. They've been adventures. In the meantime, though, Framingham State has scored again on WestCon. It's 20-7 right now in favor of Framingham State.
Wow.
Bouncing back after they get a 3 out, they get the turnover.
Wesley has been good on drives after.
So Framingham State has to put their faith in Fitchburg State today for them to have a chance. Otherwise, it would be Plymouth State's conference.
Good hold is good. Kick is away, and the kick it is good. A timeout on the
It was
field.
tipped again, though.
With 6:10 left to go before halftime. Our new score: Salisbury University.
No kidding, man.
13.
And 64
I guess you could have thought about going for two there, Frank, but probably a safer bet to just take the one.
Yeah, I agree.
Midway point of the second quarter, it's 20-7 Framingham. Ryan Clifford out for the kickoff, has it teed off at the 35-yard line. Jaward Chisholm and Zachello Lions are back to receive. It's a squib kick fielded at the 25-yard line by Westcon. Running across the field was...
And while we got an opportunity, let's go to the RPI game. First time we can talk to Kurt Stutton.
It's a little bit slower.
Yeah. Old
We
friends
have
of the
another
show.
official timeout on the field. Looks like another Rochester player has to get some attention.
It's number 8.
That's Marini.
Yeah, Christian Marini.
So again, it's a sunny day in Troy in the 50s.
We'll take another visit of that in a moment. In the meantime, I'm watching a Salisbury kickoff. If anything develops there, as Wesley's trying to receive the ball, I'll let you know.
It was Shaquille Joseph who was offsides on the kickoff.
Must be a delay on the live stats, Frank, because I'm still showing it's 13-7, not 20-7.
Trips receivers on the far sideline, one receiver near sideline.
Well, that's one more reason to watch us, right?
Patterson to his right, fleeting.
Yeah, right.
Back to pass. Pressure rolling out to the left side. Turns his shoulders.
Trouble
fires the
there.
ball in the middle of the field. Pass is completed to Chisholm.
Oh, wow.
Caught at the 45. Angling down the
There you
far
go.
For the
sideline.
pick, and he got that
Framingham
completion.
State
Yeah.
territory. Jaward Chisholm came back and caught the football. A dangerous
Yeah,
throw.
so and for folks that are tuned in watching, we're trying to verify if there was, in fact, another touchdown by Framingham right now. It looks like their
territory ball spotted at the 47-yard line.
live stat feed might have frozen up, so
7:03 to play in the second quarter. Framingham with a 20-7 lead.
stick with this for
confirmed
now.
there.
Two receivers near
Yep.
sideline, one receiver far side.
For the touchdown as he ran left. I think he kept thinking he was
Touchdown,
going to get hit. He didn't
RPI.
get hit until he got to the goal line.
Mike Deves.
And RPI leads 34.
11-yard
on the
touchdown
11-yard
run.
They didn't get second touchdown on the day. I remember when we talked to Mike last season, I think it was, or maybe it was 2 years ago, when he was. Remember, he was the grinder of the team.
Oh, yeah.
Having a great
that was
senior
a grinding
year.
run. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he just pulled over that Yellow Jacket player.
34
And,
nothing.
Yeah, RPI really. Oof.
Cap on to try the
I'm guessing Coach Acernia is going to start getting some seniors and underclassmen who don't get to see a lot of playing time in this game pretty soon.
Fleeting.
Let's go to the two games that seem to still be within reach here.
Fleeting fakes the handoff, fires the ball deep down the far sideline, and that pass is off the fingertips and incomplete. Looking for Lions on the go route off the play action. Incomplete, brings up a 2nd and 10.
Well, it's 1 o'clock on the East Coast, James, and that means that we're going to have more action coming up in a few minutes here.
Yeah. We'll have our eye on that Union Ithaca game, among others.
Inside Framingham territory.
Let's bring us into the picture here and tell folks we have Frostburg State Kane, Brockport Alfred, Ithaca Union, Misericordia Del Val. Del Val winning there would at least put him in the pole position. Still, though, Widener would have a say, but we'll get to that game later as well because Widener Kings is available. Amherst Trinity for the NESCAC potentially as well. So we'll be going kind of doing a round on those games. We can only carry a couple or a few at a time because of limitations on our technology, but we'll, as we see things developing, jump to games as they go by. By the way, again, you are watching In the Huddle's D3BlitzER show. I am Frank Rossi, James Baker. Wave to your adoring fans there, James.
Two receivers near sideline.
You're pulling your hair out, I think, with all this excitement going on today.
Patterson
This is crazy.
Rams with 4 down linemen.
Let's go back full screen.
Takes a shotgun snap, pressure up the middle, fires the ball across the middle, incomplete.
Nice pass.
Off the
Oof.
fingertips of Chisholm. It was Rashawn Rivers that was in coverage with Chisholm. Had he made a tackle right where Chisholm...
McFarland helping to make the stop there for Salisbury. It's a loss of 4, so it'll be 2nd and 14.
Counterplay that time as
Wesley needs to respond here, but boy, a lot of offense scored in this first half. 33 points with some time to go here.
And I think since there is a slight delay, I think there's going to be an incompletion coming up after this, and it'll be Salisbury's ball. Look at that pressure right there. Yep, doink. Oof. Yeah, this could be trouble for the Wolverines because they're going to have the Seagulls, that is, are going to have the ball with about just a little over 4 minutes left in the half, and if they could punch another one in and go up 27-13 at halftime, I mean, I know that Wesley can put up points, but that would be putting them behind the 8 ball.
Third down today for Wesley, 0 for 3. Shotgun for Burrows. He's going to throw again. No, he's going to escape out to his right. Throwing deep right side. He's looking for E.J. Lee.
Oh.
Cannot make the diving catch. Inside the Salisbury 28-yard line. He had a chance to make the grab as he had gotten behind his defender.
That would have been a big play. Wolverines needed a little break there, but not looking like they'll get the ball back before the end of the half unless the defense can come up with a stop.
Tried to lead him down that sideline, but it just took too much out of his body to turn his body all the way around and then try and make that catch. That would have been a big play.
Nick Baroon stands in his own 15-yard line. Joppy, dangerous return at the Salisbury 45. Kick is away. It's a wobbly spiral to our near side. It will take a sidewards roll out of bounds. And Salisbury, again, with pretty good field position as they will start their own 39-yard line. And they have 4 of 6 to work with here in the second quarter, leading Wesley 20-13.
Yeah, Wolverines really need to bow up on defense here and get a stop with 4:06 to go before the half. There's plays to be made out there for them.
Salisbury's 3 touchdowns today. Damian King.
Well, they're underway down in Ithaca, Frank, or up in Ithaca from where I'm sitting, and already it looks like Nobby has the Bombers in Dutchman territory.
Are you watching the video? Because I can't seem to get the video load up here on my end.
Just live stats for now.
Yeah, I think they're having trouble getting the broadcast up and running, to be honest with you.
The WICB.
ICTV, yep.
Yeah, ICTV, yeah, sorry.
Has enough speed to turn the corner a little bit and set up a 2nd and 8 with 4 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, and this Salisbury offense really relies on those cut blocks, and they got one late there that was able to get them those 2 yards. You wonder, there's been talk that they're going to get rid of these cut blocks.
Well, that would be devastating
together.
It'd be devastating to these option offenses. Second down.
It's looking like the Wesley defense might be able to bail them out here. We'll see.
Option is right play action. Under pressure is Lewis. Third down and long for the Bombers. Left diving attempt made in Salisbury territory at the 48-yard line, but a catch not made. As going for that was Brad Rose, the senior out of Bel Air, Maryland. It will be a 3rd down and 8.
Now we'll play action on 2nd down, trying to keep Wesley honest.
Got 3rd down coming up. It's
pretty good for the most part today in the pass game. 3rd down and 8. Still a rundown for this Gulls offense.
Line to get it's the 49, and as the clock stops at the incompletion with 3:28 to go before halftime.
Big play here for this Wesley defense.
Left hash mark, the white-clad Seagulls with the burgundy.
big 3rd down coming up right here.
Pass is Miller.
Wow, look at the pressure coming in there. It's a really strong pass rush by the Wolverines, and the defense holds, so the Wolverines are going to get a chance to try and tie it up before the end of the half.
The clock will roll under 3 minutes to go before halftime.
In the meantime, let's take a look at the WestCon opportunity here coming up.
At the 40-yard line. 2 receivers on the far side of the formation. 1 receiver on the near side of the formation. That's Calamita. Quinn Fleeting in the shotgun. Khalil Patterson to his left. 3 down linemen for Framingham. Showing pressure off the edge. They drop 7 into coverage. Fleeting has time. Rolls out of the pocket to his left. Turns his shoulders. Fires over the middle of the field. Passes broken
nice.
Looking for Jawar.
Lucky that wasn't intercepted on a tip.
Made by Nathan Fleming. Dislodged the ball. And that's going to bring up a 4th and long. Good play from the senior Nathan Fleming. That would have been close to the first down marker. But an incomplete pass, and it looks as though the Colonials will bring out their punting unit. So they will punt it at the 40-yard line of Framingham. Sometimes on 4th down, you keep the offense, especially in this part of the field, but on 4th and 25, not much you can really do. Napoleon Miller's back to receive at the 5. D'Onofrio kicks it from midfield, end over end kick.
Pretty good punt there.
Line, bounces at the
like
9.
Westcon's going to be able to pin them deep.
So a good punt.
Well, since the stats are down on this game, it's hard to tell exactly how much time is left in the first half, but it's probably getting close to halftime here.
20-7 lead over Westcon with 4 minutes and 13 seconds to play in the second quarter.
There you go. 4:13 left. Thanks, guys.
Drive up the field that consumes time, and
they might be listening to you.
Points on the board before half.
At least somebody is.
They have 94 yards.
I'm
to
sorry,
go,
James. Did you say something?
Yeah, exactly.
6 receivers on the far sideline, 1 receiver on the near sideline.
Good execution by the cheerleaders down there in the lower right.
Man in motion from right to
nice
left.
job, ladies and men.
Met in the backfield, spins away from a tackler.
Ooh, look at that move by Ron Wright. That was nice.
Yep, and sorry to switch games on you so quickly there, but we almost had a turnover in this Wesley-Salisbury game, but Wesley holds on.
Yeah, looks like it's going to be third down coming up.
Yeah, that's tough by Eagle there. He probably would have rumbled forward for the first down there. He's maybe a yard short of the sticks, but big body there.
Line to get is the 30. 3 left, 2 right. Burrows in the empty backfield. He's back, and here comes the draw. And he's going to be hit from behind at the 32-yard line, and making that play was the defensive end who's been stellar today.
Yeah, I think that was third down too, Frank. So another punting situation for the Wolverines. No points on that drive, unfortunately for them. So hopefully they can get a good punt off, and then let the defense close it out.
6'3", 305. Isaac Johnson's a starter out there, 6'3", almost 240. And all their linebackers, except for Montag, are.
And in the meantime, our first look at Ithaca Union.
Defending that pass. You're going to see a lot of those 50-50 balls today by Wahid Nabi trying to get Will Gladney over the top, especially with a guy being 6'3". His catching radius is a lot bigger than most guys, so I think they're going to be targeting him a lot on those 50-50 balls today.
And this is what you got when you...
I was just sorry. I was going to say Matt Zugai and Chad Kowalik are your announcers on this game.
Newman, he has 5 of them. Jason Nelson, the safety, has 2. Paul Chambers is still looking for his first. But this defense, they know.
And I interrupted you. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that this is what you get when your school is one of the best television, broadcast, and communications programs in the country. The Bombers always have some of the best broadcasts for Division III that you'll see out there.
By the way, where you're seeing the ball right now, that's where Westcon is taking over right now with some time left here. They need to score and soon because the half will be over before they know it if they're not careful. They'll have 46 yards to the house, 2 minutes and change left. Here's Ithaca.
Wow. Nice move. Oh, nice interception by the Dutchman. Yeah. Well, he is a freshman, Frank, so, maybe it's chalk it up to a rookie mistake trying to make a play on 3rd and 8, sort of force the pass a little bit. But, hey, this Dutchman defense, like we said a couple weeks ago when we spoke with Coach Berman, really been forcing a lot of turnovers all season. It's a big reason why they've won 7 games.
Yards enough for a first down. That's Tom Burns in on the stop for Framingham. Ball spotted at the 34-yard line, 1st and 10. Clock ticking with 2 minutes to play in the second quarter. 2 receivers near sideline.
I hear that there, 1st and 10, not 4th and 1, as the graphic says at the top of the
snap. Looking to his
score.
left, steps up in the pocket, has pressure now, rolls out to the left, runs it forward to the 25 to the 20.
Nice run by
15,
Fleeting there.
Out of bounds inside of the 15. Quinn Fleeting, fleet of foot, scrambles for a first down. He's spotted out of bounds at the 13-yard line.
So here's 3 games that we're kind of simultaneously watching right now. You've got on the upper left hand, Framingham State, Westcon threatening. You've got Salisbury back with the ball, up by 7 points, and you've got Union Ithaca. Ithaca was driving, but they threw an interception. Again, as Salisbury gains some yards there, we're going to try to pick which game to go to here. All three of them have some good action going on. Let's go to that WestCon game.
Miscommunication.
Yeah.
Lucas D'Souza kept his route up the field, fleeting through the back shoulder throw. It bounced incomplete. 2nd and 10 upcoming.
Yeah, there they go. 2nd and 10, not 2nd and 1. But this would be a big opportunity for WestCon. They could get a score before the half.
3 off the game clock. They shifted over now with trips on the near sideline. No receivers on the far sideline. Patterson.
Union just short of a first down here on the 2nd and 5. They'll have 3rd and 1 coming up. We'll try to take a peek at that play when it comes.
And Wesley just took a timeout with 53 seconds left. Salisbury's ball with a 3rd and 23 at their 49-yard line. So I think Coach Dross is maybe going to call the bluff there and see if he can force a punt
Tried to throw a jump ball up to him
before the half.
That's the replay of the play I was just talking about. Now let's go to 3rd and 1 live, hopefully here.
With those formations, so that'll be something to watch as this game progresses. Another 2nd down carry that just gets short of the sticks. It'll be 3rd down and inches here for the.
Nope. Doe, as they say, while I try to reload that.
Fires the out route incomplete.
Incomplete.
Wide of the intended target. That was number 82, Nick Campbell. So after 2 quick first downs, 3 incompletions in a row, and that brings up a 4th and 10 from the 13. It looks as though they'll bring up their field goal kicker to attempt a field goal.
All right. Meanwhile, in the Salisbury game, their 3rd down pass came up incomplete. So it's looking like a likely punt deep.
In to attempt the kick. Out of the hold of Jared DeVellis. Line up on the far hash, right at the 20-yard line.
See this field goal first, and we'll go to that game.
Snap, ball down, kick is up, and the kick is no good.
Boy.
It is wide
No
to the
good.
left.
Okay. Tough break for
WestCon
there.
Wesley will have that timeout to save with 48 seconds left to go. Tim Steindl is punting from his own 35 for Salisbury. Punt snap is good. Here comes the boot. It is a high spiral, fair catch called for and made by Simpson at the 10. And Wesley's going to have to go a long way here in 41 seconds, trailing by 7 here at the end of the first half.
Yeah, Salisbury
It's a lot of real estate, 90 yards to go in 41 seconds, Frank, but Wesley's got some good receivers, so see if who they air it out to here.
In the meantime, Union still has the ball here in the Ithaca game, about midfield zone.
Yep.
We'll go back to the Wesley game in a moment.
Nick Cassione just completed a 11-yard pass to Ryan Haney to the 42-yard line, so they're moving. But not yet on the Ithaca side of the field just yet.
Another shift, as Chad, we have seen 3 of them already on this drive, and Jeff Berman, he really likes to confuse that defense. QB draw, Cassione is going to be wrapped up and dropped.
Not much there.
Let's go to the Wesley game. A lot of movement and I think we just missed EJ Lee run the ball.
Yeah, not too far.
Yep. Didn't really.
You can
not
see in
much
the
of a game
background,
there.
James. It's only about 16 seconds left in the half.
Yeah, it's a timeout for Wesley right now after the 2-yard gain. Not really the play you think that they would call, but hey.
Nice bow tie by Kenny Bradley in the graphic there.
Oh, yeah.
On the back end, you have Aaron Francis and Jordan Shem, the corners. A 2nd down carry.
Oh, and
feed
like that there
little
again.
freeze ups there and down by the lake, I guess.
About 30 carries so far this year. He's definitely going to run the ball a little bit for this Union.
I'll have to reload that one in the meantime.
Yep.
We'll go put you back there.
Okay.
3rd and 2 coming up for the Dutchman.
Extremely athletic plays, and they're two of the guys that are able to do it the best in the Liberty League.
So it's 3rd down and 7. Play action. Cassione to throw. He's got his man.
Well, if it's 3rd and 2, they've got it. If it's 3rd and 7, they don't. Looks like the graphic was wrong.
Yeah, the Bombers are signaling that they've stopped them and it's 4th down. So we'll see what Coach Behrman decides to do here. Big call coming up.
Jeff Berman, excuse me, Chad. Early on, do you go for this one if you're Jeff Berman?
Looks like Wesley just ran another play for a 15-yard gain. E.J. Lee ran it up the middle. So 10 seconds left. Another timeout for the Wolverines. So maybe you do a Hail Mary here, Frank, before the half.
In the meantime, they're going to go for it on 4th down, or at least they're showing it here. Union, they are going.
Yep, they're going for it.
And they got it.
And they got it. Henselman has really turned into a solid player for the Dutchman. I know he kind of had a big sophomore campaign, but he's really looking even better this year.
You know whose brother he is, right?
I don't think I do know that.
Thomas Arcidiacono.
So Kinzelman has really been the featured back
wow.
on this
No kidding.
Didn't know that?
No, I didn't. I know that Tom works with our friend Mike Berkowitz up there in Albany, but I didn't know that. That's definitely some Union royalty there, Frank.
There you go. See what you learn on our D3BlitzER program here?
Yeah, learning a lot of stuff. Well, Frank, up in Massachusetts, at the start of the second half, Plymouth State has the ball.
Haven't been able to string together successful possessions.
And they're back in action.
Yeah, they've been struggling a little bit from time to time. They get some good runs, they get some poor runs, and then Zach Edwards is pretty inconsistent in terms of his passing game. Baniskevich running to the left side gets only a couple.
Mitch Baniskevich, we mentioned.
Let's go back up. We lost feed here for a sec.
All right, let's see what Coach Strass has up his sleeve for this one. It's going to be, well, with 10 seconds, it's basically like a 70-yard 1st and goal.
Interesting timeout. Not sure why they didn't just go to locker room with this, but okay.
Well, see what I guess they're going to just try and throw it deep and hope for the best.
Nope.
Nope. Draw play. Not a big fan of those, Frank. I don't get it. I would at least have taken a shot downfield and maybe try to get a pass interference, kick a field goal or something. But I guess when you look at it, yeah, when you look at it, it's been a pretty even first half between those two teams, with really that one long run being the difference.
Take a look as we are watching these. We're going to try to get to the Rockport-Alfred game for a few minutes here, and that's a big game, as you know. That is basically for the Empire 8 if Rockport wins, but they must win. In the meantime, watch this drive here for Union and Ithaca.
Ithaca does a great job on 4th down, and so does Union as well, so I think they'll try to go for it if it is indeed a 4th down.
So they bring out the sticks, and let's see what we have here. The ball is right on the 43-yard line.
Looks like they got it. 1st down.
A Union first.
Nice drive.
James, interesting to note here. Did we have the wrong time on the Brockport-Alfred game?
I don't think so. I thought it was a 1 o'clock kickoff.
I did too. You wanted to check the live score on that for me? Because we are, according to this, at halftime.
No kidding. Huh. Well.
Unless we have the wrong. No, Brockport 14, Alfred 10 at half. So we were fed some bad information there.
Yeah, it is listed online as being a 1 o'clock game, at least on the scoreboard that I was looking at. But apparently they got to an earlier start. Yeah, it's a noon kickoff, so we got some little mix up there. But that's interesting, though. Alfred, yeah, I mean, I don't think a lot of people gave Alfred a chance in this one. So
Edwards from the shotgun looks to his
impressive.
right, sets up a screen to the left, complete to Baniskevich, and he has blockers in front of him.
That's a big run right there.
And finally taken down just
Again,
shy
it's
of the
Plymouth State
40-yard
in
line.
white.
Scary for the Falcon defense, but they are able to hold the Panthers. And I imagine they'll kick.
I would think so as well. I mean, Edwards doesn't have a terribly accurate arm beyond
See the
15
down
yards, as
marker.
we
I
can
guess
see.
it was one of those
That
where they
check
were
down,
okay
that
with giving up
screen
20
pass,
yards because they
that
needed
definitely seemed
25
right
to
in
get
line
first
with what they
down.
needed to do there. And they were able to get several
There's
yards
a
on
punt
that one.
coming up.
Ended up being stopped 3 yards short of the line to gain.
Chris Kelly is not happy on the Panther sideline. You heard him slam his helmet down on the bench. High snap away, a good punt. End over end, bounces at the 29, takes a Panther roll, and it will be down.
First quarter ending in Ithaca. Union still with the ball. This is a long drive right now, James.
Yeah. Well, this is the way their offense is built to kind of grind away. And wow, another nice run by Kinzelman. Has an 8-yard gain to the 30-yard line.
Kinzelman did a good job of finding outside acceleration. Jordan Shem has got to come up on that one, get off the corner. Was occupied there. Great block out there by number 13, Griffin Beal.
Elsewhere in the MAC, Del Valle just got their first touchdown on a 21-yard run by Devontae Ellis.
So it's third down and short. And another
Wow.
for Union.
And at the half, the Mariners are up 41 to 21. Holy smokes.
What about Husson?
Looking along the left side, Kinzelman picks up yet another
Husson is probably up by a big score as well. Let me pull it up here.
In the opening quarter.
Yeah, like I said earlier, a big threat of Union's is time of possession. They've been able to outdo their opponents.
49 to nothing.
Wow.
I don't even think they're at halftime over there.
We'll check in later on. Again, they win that. They've won the ECFC. Rockport, though, in a struggle to win the Empire 8 outright today. And then other pieces aren't seeming to fall into place for the Liberty League to have a definitive champion today. But the winner of this game stays alive. The loser does not in the race because of RPI's big lead against Rochester.
Yep. Yeah, it's 5 minutes left in the second quarter. Husson is up 49 to nothing. Yeah, they're going to win this game. Well, let's see. He has Apple State going to
do. Carry the one.
Well, this statistics thing isn't really working out that well, but he does have. I can tell you that he does have at least 3 rushing touchdowns. And Husson has over 320 yards in the game compared to 20 yards for Alfred State.
The Union offensive line features 3 freshmen and 1 sophomore, an unprecedented amount of underclassmen on an offensive line. However, that has not been to their downfall. They've only allowed 10 sacks this season.
Yeah, I'm having the same trouble you are. You can't click the H, right?
Yep.
Oh, there we go. I got it. And John Smith has 13 carries, 135 yards, and 3 touchdowns for Husson. Another 10-yard per carry average, just like last week.
Yep.
Actually, it was more than that last week.
Back to you.
Yeah.
We kind of touched on that, Chad, earlier on in the first quarter.
Okay, so first quarter's over here in the Union game against Ithaca. In the meantime, let me fade over here because it's a scoop and score.
Look at go!
And Plymouth State's lead has grown.
That was a big play right there. Nice thing about this broadcast is we'll get to see the replay. Look at nice crowd there.
Nice.
Folks from New Hampshire made the drive down. Here we go.
Take a look at this one again from our camera on the near
it's the pick 6. Oh, the scoop and score.
Scoop and score.
Better. My favorite play. Boy, that linebacker has some wheels. Cashes it in. That's a huge play for Plymouth State.
Again, as Pittsburgh was trying to make progress downfield, and that happens. Extra point was good.
So 9:42 left to play here in the third quarter for the second.
Meantime,
defense closed in a hurry.
Yeah, risky throw into double coverage there by the junior. from New
Wow.
Connecticut. So
Whoa.
3rd down and 9. Union's been perfect on 3rd down so far this drive.
Really try to take that one.
Big play.
Wow.
Big play.
It's definitely going to be the biggest
timeout for Union.
Key to the game in terms of both of these teams.
Yeah, I think that's a smart call by Coach Behrman. It's tough to get points against this Ithaca defense. So, if you can try to, you just need to get that first down. Worst case scenario. Did you see where the ball was placed there, Frank?
No, I didn't. Oh, it's a 30-ish yard line, around the 30, I think, just inside.
Yeah, I see a timeout now. It's actually the Ithaca 26. So that would be what, a 43-yard field goal. I don't know if Union's kicker has that kind of a leg. So it seems like this either is 2-down territory, or if you can't get it on 3rd down, you probably just try to pin them inside their 10-yard line with a punt.
Again, just to set the scene a little bit here, you're watching the D3BlitzER show. I'm Frank Rossi, James Baker for In the Huddle here, and we are trying to go through as many close games as we can with exciting action. And here's one. It's 0-0 after 1 quarter of play is done. Let's go big box again here as it's a big 3rd and 9. Union looking to convert here in Ithaca territory.
To his left, Union needs the 16. Cascione, a screen. This is number 8.
Nicely
Haney,
executed there by
the
first down.
To the first down marker, and he's got it. Ryan Haney, the tight end. Great effort on that one. And
that should have gone for about 2 yards, honestly.
Yeah, that was a big play call right there.
Turper very happy. They had him wrapped up before the first down marker, but was able to just keep his legs moving. They missed the tackle and was able to get the first down. Got to be sure tacklers today with that. So as you see on the replay, keeping his feet moving. Did a good job of extending the play and getting the first down.
Finally brought down by John Haddock, but not before he picked up yet another Dutchman first down. And here's Connor Kinsman on the sweep. A nice play there by number 72 for the Bombers. That is Noah Hill, the sophomore. He drags Kinsman down for no gain.
Noah Hill's definitely been getting a little more playing time lately. He's done a good job in the past few games of getting pressure on the quarterback, and he's being rewarded here, getting a little extra playing time here in the 2nd quarter. Definitely so far he's done a good job.
So it'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Dutchman. As we are.
Looks like the live stats finally updated on the Framingham State side, and it's halftime there, 20-7 Rams.
Cascione the snap. He will take it right up the middle on a QB draw, and once again, that's
11-yard line
Hill on the tackle. A pickup of 5 for Cascione.
How long has this drive been going, Frank? This is
forever. Holy cow!
I know, we're already into the 2nd quarter. It seems like it's been going for 10 minutes.
More of a read option, was able to throw it to the receiver if someone was there, but was able to carry it himself.
All right. Well, according to the live stats, this drive started. The 21 plays, 70-yard drive, still in process.
Has been perfect on this drive. In 3rd down
That's incredible.
conversions, Kinsman shifts into the backfield. He's going to
big
run
3rd down play right here. Nice penetration.
Down in the backfield.
Going to force a field goal.
Yep.
John Jackson. Here's Maservi.
Oh, actually, we've got a bad. Middlebury Hamilton's not the game we were intending for. So in the meantime, we're going to go back to Fitchburg State Plymouth State as we resolve that.
Oh, look at that jump right there.
He had something there. He had nothing there.
I was talking with Travis Falk before the game as we were coming in, setting up the cameras. We saw the track team has the hurdles lined up. Actually, back to live action. It's a handoff to Brown Simpson. Dives forward. Just to finish that story, I was talking with Travis. We saw the hurdles lined up, and Travis and I were discussing just how terribly.
And so for the viewers who are just tuning in, Plymouth State scored on the last Fitchburg possession by a strip sack, scoop and score. So the Panthers getting touchdowns from their offense and defense today. But this has been a pretty hard-hitting defensive type of game.
Second down pass to Connor Flynn is complete. He shakes one man, dives
Nice
out
move right
another.
there.
He's actually across midfield. Good work.
And Frank, it looks like the
hold on, James.
game.
I want to update you on one thing here. This could be a big upset in the making here in the NESCAC. Trinity would win the NESCAC today if they won because they have 0 losses versus the next opponent being 2 losses. But right now, in the Trinity Amherst game, as you can see, It is 7-0 Amherst.
Yeah, the Mammoths,
In the
formerly known as the Lord Jeffs.
Is the give to Figueroa up the middle, through the tackles. Good running by
And they're gaining some yards there for sure.
And that sideways forward pass falls incomplete.
That was McGregor there who had the best view of all on the shovel pass. And that was
Union does come away with the field goal, by the way. It is 3-0 Union.
Yep.
But tried the shovel pass, and who was he looking for on that? I think it was Flynn.
I think it's Flynn right there, 44.
And that drive, Frank, was pretty amazing. 22 yards, 70 plays, took up almost 12 minutes of the clock.
Wait. I think it was the other way around.
Yeah.
22 plays, 70 yards.
That's what I meant. 70 plays.
You know we were watching too many games when we have that happening.
I tell you what, this Alfred Saxon defense came to play. They basically forced the punt to start off the second half, and Alfred ball. Oh, check that. Looks like there might have been a touchdown here.
33 yards is well within Renzi's range.
And I think they trust their defense there. That must have been the thing.
And that's a pick six for Jake O'Connell. What were you saying, Ed, about trusting their defense?
That's right. The All-American Jake O'Connell. Another one.
Good call there, James. Just in time, we were able to get to it.
That's the senior safety.
Yeah, and that's exactly what the Eagles needed, because I imagine at the half they were probably thinking, wow, we've been killing everybody so far this season, and we're only up by 4 points, so that'll light a fire under a team right there. That's a big mistake for Alfred. But hey, like you said, he's an All-American for a reason. Jake O'Connell just made a great play there to give his team potentially an 11-point lead right here.
Those 10 points given up by Brockport's defense are the first points given up in 3 weeks, basically. They blanked Hartwick and Buffalo State. Here's the extra point.
And those haven't been a sure thing today.
No, not in our broadcast.
At one point earlier in the show, guys, we saw like 4 back-to-back PAT blocks, so can't take those for granted.
5:35 to go, third quarter, 14-0 Plymouth. And again, as we mentioned, halftime at Bowditch Field in Framingham, 20-7, Framingham on top. And if Plymouth wins and Framingham wins,
in the meantime, James, the usual suspects causing issues here. Ithaca back across midfield.
Yeah, on the move again. This quarterback Nabby is something else. He's done a really nice job for the Bombers this season under first-year head coach Dan Swanstrom.
Going 3 and out, and they are once again in Union territory from the 48-yard line. Nobby hands it off to Brown up the middle, and a good run from Tristan Brown on first down, brought down by Lombardo, the Liberty League's third leading tackler. He's a big leader on this Union defense.
Yeah, he's also a big football
Tough
player.
To see, I know, for some people. They've imposed the clock on the graphic, but about 11 minutes left in the first half there at Ithaca.
Yep, and it's one of those kind of stereotypical November gray, cloudy days in Finger Lakes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Especially with a game of time possession like
I remember them well.
Oh, those Hobart days. But I'll tell you, the Fitchburg State-Plymouth State game is flying by. There's only 4.5 minutes left in the third quarter right now.
Wow. Yeah, well, they're both kind of old-fashioned, knocking back and forth, kind of running teams. Oh, look at this. Nice.
37, and it's another Ithaca first
and that's what's made Ithaca that much harder to defend this season, is that this guy can definitely run the ball as well as throw it.
Like we said early, he's a slippery guy. He's hard to bring down.
Remember, if Ithaca wins this game, they have to root for Union next week, as RPI is going to win against Rochester.
Nobby.
Yep.
Looking deep.
Uh-oh.
He's got his man. That's Andrew Vito inside.
Big catch right there.
And the Bombers on a big completion to the freshman receiver. He's been on fire so far.
Let's go full volume for this one while we search for other games, James. How's that sound?
Especially with number 7,
Sounds good.
Zara, transfer from D1 Buffalo. not the healthiest right now, not playing today. Andrew Vito's going to have to step up, and so far he has.
Yeah, Zazara, he's dressed, he's on that sideline, but he has yet to check in for this Ithaca offense. So it's first down and 10 from the 18-yard line. This Bombers offense has struggled so far this season in the red zone. We'll see what they can do here. Nabi, quick pass, a risky one, but it's going to be caught by Jared Bauer, and he's going to get out of bounds after a pickup of about 9, setting up second down and 1.
It was a risky throw, but was able to get it. Number 10, Jared Bauer did a good job of turning up the field, finding the marker, and able to get first down.
James, we're going to go back to the Brockport-Alfred game as Brockport looks to make a big stand here defensively against Alfred after that pick 6.
And he is a high school all-state wrestler. 6'5", 290. Like you said, J.J. Watt size. It is J.J. Watt size. J.J. Watt's obviously one of the best defensive linemen in the NFL, but Dean, for a guy his size, he can move. You're not wrong there. And that's going to be a pass over the middle and stop before.
It's going to be a little bit short, though.
Yep. About a gain of 8 on that one, or a gain of 9. It's going to bring it to 3rd and short. But yeah, Dean is a big guy, and a lot of people look at him thinking, oh, north-south, he's just going to run you over. But he has
watching the Ithaca game, they are at 1st and 10. The graphic is showing right now. I believe that's correct. Let's actually go to it right here.
Oh yeah,
1st and goal.
They're on the goal line. Yeah.
Low, and that's why he is, this
7 yards away.
Dan Swanstrom likes to use in these situations. And
nothing doing there. Let's go to 3rd and 2.
He's going to drop back into coverage. Good fake. And Brunson almost there in coverage.
You catch that?
Converts. Yep.
Yeah, you got it.
2nd and goal. Oh, well, it seems like we have problems wherever we want to go to this ICTV game.
Alfred's playbook could stay in that formation. I'm not sure if
Come on, man.
anticipated being shut down on the run to this extent by their conference opponent.
Well,
but really,
not to give it away, but Nabi is going to complete a short pass.
Don't. Hold on. We got it back.
Fade to Will Gladney, and got to go for it, especially on this 2nd and 8.
Gladney one-on-one with Chambers, play action, quick pass to Vito. Vito's got room up the middle, but a great play by Lombardo.
Pretty good ball, but with the kind of speed the linebackers of Union have, didn't really see that one working out.
Touchdown just slipped up there. Is doing a really good job of being a sure-handed receiver like he's been all year long.
Yeah, Andrew Vito, he thought he was going to have 6, but
his Vito guy isn't very big, but he has made some big catches for Ithaca this season.
Very shifty. Yeah, big play, though, here. 3rd and goal from about the 4-yard line. Ithaca looking to take the lead here.
He has 3 receivers to his right.
And they're reading Union's defense, obviously, from the sideline.
With Paul Chambers.
Paul Chambers is going to have his hands full today.
Nabi looking to the corner of the end zone.
Oh!
It's incomplete. Vito wants a
looked like he had him beat on the coverage, but pass was just a little bit off there.
And the Bombers are going to have to settle.
Alfred is facing a 3rd and 12 coming up. We'll get you to it when it comes up if we can get this field goal first here.
Outstretched hands of Andrew Vito. Did a good job of moving the ball on that drive, but got to be disappointing just trying to settle for a field goal.
So this is David Prudhomme now.
I don't know if this is right, Frank, but okay. There was a time update in the Amherst game. We'll talk about in a second.
The kick is up and the kick is good. So Ithaca answers the Union field goal drive with a field goal of their own. And we are back even at 3.
Good old-fashioned defensive struggle here.
You can show them one thing and give them something completely different. And just as you said, he's been dropping in coverage. He makes the
three-way action here.
Again, that's the versatility. And just when you thought that Alfred
pretty much all these games have been defensive struggles so far, save for the blowouts being put on by Husson and RPI. But
Alfred missed on that 3rd and 12, as you can see. See, I gotta always get this side is Alfred and Brockport. Up here is Plymouth State, Pittsburgh State, and diagonal over here. I almost had it. Diagonal over there is Union Ithaca, as you know. So let's go to this Pittsburgh State Plymouth State game, and also I'm going to check on Wesley in a moment.
WestCon is back into things too. Actually, they are. Looks like sportsmanlike conduct helped them get a first down. and they're up to their 40-yard line now, trailing 20-7.
The ball, but just losing it, having those bad plays crop up from time to time now, ruin drives and then.
Yeah, look at that! Wow, it's already the fourth quarter at Fitchburg.
Yeah, it's been like running clock there.
Yeah, game will be over by 2 o'clock.
One less we'll have to carry, I guess. But again, the game that this sort of influences at the end of the day is this one, as you pointed out.
Yeah. Yeah, originally Westcon was sort of pinned back on their in their red zone, but a unsportsmanlike call
have to get it to the 40-yard line of Framingham to
gave them the ball at the 40, and now they're in a big play.
That's Austin Calamita split out
situation right here. They need this first down.
Far sideline. Fleeting in the shotgun. Odom to his right on 3rd and 2. Takes the snap. Fakes the handoff and will keep it himself. Running around right edge. Dives forward and they will have enough for the first down. Burns.
This is basically a survival go here. By the way, it's third quarter, not second quarter. Should be reading up
his
there.
Own number and converts on 3rd and short. Moves the chains. 1st and 10. Ball now at the 38-yard line of Framingham. Ball spotted on the far hash. 2 receivers near
And I just want to go to the Wesley Salisbury game. This is becoming a very common look today. Another injury for Salisbury.
Yeah, well, these teams really hit each other pretty good. I mean, they call it the Route 13 rivalry for a reason, and these defenses really lay it on.
Right, hit in the backfield.
Oh, wow.
And he's
That's
taken
a big
down.
loss right there.
No chance at all.
That's 10 yards.
Vlasic, like a missile into the backfield, making the stop. Reading option right away. That goes down.
Okay, Salisbury, their injury is walking off the field with no help, luckily. But it looks like this is Wesley Ball right now. Check that. It is Wesley Ball at their own 40-yard line. We'll go to that right after this next play here for Westcon, because obviously this is do or die for Westcon.
One outside the numbers. Fleeting in the shotgun, takes a snap, rolls out of the pocket to his left, looking downfield, turns his shoulders, fires over the middle, pass is completed at the 27, and cut down is
James, I'll tell you, that Quinn Fleeting something
Eddie
else.
Miller.
Yeah, well, he's going to put his team on his back and at least get a couple more scores here to keep their season alive. I mean, Westcon will be an attractive team for potentially a New England or ECAC bowl, but they're trying to make the NCAAs. Nice run here. Oh, looked like he was going to get something going there, and the Seagulls defense came in pretty quick there.
Amherst still leading Trinity 7-0. 10.5 minutes left in that game, first half rather in that game.
Yeah, well, maybe a bit of a surprise there. Oh, it looks like Brockport tacked on another touchdown. Joe Germinario for 44 yards.
Whether it's a long touchdown or a deep out, they have the repertoire to run really any route tree, do so successfully, and the offensive line gives Germinario all the time he needs in the world to do just that.
Renzi going out there for the extra point. It's up and good.
Must have been a good speech there. It's 28-10 actually, but the halftime speech must have been pretty good. It was 14-10 at halftime.
You want to hear a crazy score?
Go ahead.
Hudson is up 56-0 with 7:35 remaining in the third quarter.
Wow. We caught some action early on that one, and we have not gone back since because it was turning into a real Hudson fest, I guess, is the only way to put it.
Yeah.
Yep. That's incredible.
You know, we also got tweeted at by our friend Jaden Daly down at Kings Point. Apparently, the Mariners could be creeping up on a school record as far as points are scored. As they lead.
Penalty. This one's going to go
against the Colonials. 40. I think it's still 41-21. 62, I guess, is their all-time. Yeah, they're just starting in the second half there. up by
Not to
21.
interrupt you, James, but right now it was first and goal from the 3 for WestCon, and they get a penalty.
14-yard line of Framingham.
That's going to sting a little bit.
Time-consuming drive, 8:55 to play in the third quarter.
So halfway through the third quarter here, WestCon needs this touchdown.
Trips near sideline, one receiver far sideline. Pistol formation, Fleeting fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, rolling around right edge, and dives forward.
Field goal doesn't do much for them here.
Tackle made by Cody
No,
Bassett.
no, they really need the touchdown.
In the meantime, Wesley trying to equalize against Salisbury here. Wesley wins. They win the NJAC. If they lose, all heck breaks loose, and we'll discuss it later.
Sure will.
16 to go in the third quarter.
Well, there's a little lull in the action here. We can say that Hobart has won 34-7 against St. Lawrence. Shane Sweeney with 278 yards and 2 touchdowns in that one. Brandon Shedd with 3 catches for 121 yards.
Jeff Berman is going to try a
Let's go back to the Ithaca game here.
Yeah, definitely looks like he's going to try a field goal on that one, but another great play by Noah Hill. One thing the Bombers defense does especially well is they rotate those defensive tackles a lot. And you're going to see on this replay here that Noah Hill just towards the end of that. But like I was saying earlier,
a nice sack on a 3rd and 3 play from the Ithaca 19. So 4th and 6 coming up from the 22.
What's Union going to do
A little
here?
long for a field goal, possibly.
Getting those fresh bodies, and that's big. That's the biggest.
Be about a 39-yarder.
Defensive coordinator Mike Turper.
Really not that long in the grand scheme of things, right?
Well,
Didn't get it.
Back to action here. Second down.
Replay the down, though. First and goal at the 14.
Oh, I'm sorry, first and goal again.
Spins out to the left.
Trouble
Pass
there.
is completed out to Odom. Gets away from one tackler. Rivers.
They must have had an inadvertent whistle or something in that game and gave them the down back.
Fleming and others.
That's what the stoppage
but
was.
Exactly what the last.
the problem is that they're going in the wrong direction, though. They originally were on the 3-yard line. Now it looks like they're to the 10.
Pass out to Odom.
Yeah, but they were at the 14 to start the first and goal. And now it's second and goal from around the 12, 13.
So
yeah.
Okay, here comes Union out, and it looks like their offense is coming out here for 4th and 6.
4th and 6 from the 22.
They want to go for this one, so it's 4th down and 6 from the 22.
This is huge for the Bombers defense. Got to get off the field.
Yeah, and that was a false start on the offense.
Hold on. A dive to the 1-yard line for WestCon.
Close to the goal, but not quite in. Quickly back to the line of scrimmage are the Colonials. Ball spotted at the 1-yard line. Rams trying to get guys off the field. And did they get the timeout?
And we might have to jump over to the Amherst game, Frank. Trinity's on the 6-yard line with the 4th. I think they're going for it on 4th down.
But it goes from a 4th and 6 now to a 4th down and 11. Not ideal for the Dutchmen. They need the Ithaca 16. The line of scrimmage is the 27.
Yeah, definitely should be an interesting play they draw up here. See if they go with those pre-snap motions or they stay within the regular set and try to pass it for the 4th down. And we got Travis Denby in there, who's one of the best Liberty League receiving backs. So definitely going to be a pass play on this one.
Cascione, play fake, open. Firing towards the end zone, and he overshoots his man.
Ooh. So it's going to be Ithaca ball.
Griffin Beal. So
as Andrew Sommer. Oh, wait a minute.
It looks like what happened here, Frank, is that Max Shaporis from Trinity tried to convert on 4th and 2, and
hold that thought, James. Well, it's wow.
Puzo looking for room across the middle, and it's a touchdown.
Could be a tying touchdown. In the meantime, let's go back to Wesley.
Able to prevent Lee from cutting up the field. It's a gain of 5. We'll set up a 2nd down and 5.
Wesley can still get a first down if they get to the 2-yard line here. Pick up a 5 there.
3:15 left in the second quarter.
Third quarter. This is the opening drive of the third quarter. It's now
and Trinity, I think, is looking to equalize right now with the extra point. We'll let you know.
That touchdown is good.
Eagle the H back left.
Yep, they just posted it.
Shotgun Burrows, hands off to Lee, up the middle, trying to twist out to his left, and he's going to be escorted backwards.
Nothing doing for Burrows on that play.
Robeson, the nose guard, stuffing Lee to no gain. It will be at
Trinity Amherst is 7-7. We'll keep our eye on that one.
Robeson, 6'3", 305 pounds.
Hand
Fourth
up.
and goal.
Fleeting keeps it himself.
No signal yet.
Looks like he's in. Still no signal. He gets up in the end zone, and there's the signal from the official.
It's a touchdown.
Well, hold on.
So
I see a player saying it.
For the Stripes to
I just saw the official put his arms up, so I think that
1-yard touchdown run from Quinn Fleeting on 4th and goal.
big play right there.
Makes it 20-13 with 6:27
Keeps it alive, that
to play
game.
in
the meantime, back to Wesley Salisbury.
Run the ball on 3rd and 5, and here comes the field goal unit. So the
Salisbury
defense, after Wesley goes on an 8-minute drive or 7-minute drive plus.
Well, points have been hard to come by in this game, so I guess I can respect Coach Strauss for taking them when he can get them. Would make it a 4-point game.
In the meantime, we'll show you that Plymouth State is up 17-0 right now.
Here.
We've
and
been
so
talking about them
we'll
all day. We've
talk
been
about what's
talking
going
about
on
them all
here in a
season,
moment.
and for
First
good
things
reason.
first, though, timeout, Wesley.
The winning tradition continues.
Big play in the Ithaca game, Frank, if you can switch over to it.
Try to in a second. Why don't you give me some detail, though?
There was a short pass and then a forced fumble that I think ended up being recovered by Ithaca, and then a penalty tacked on 15 yards. So Ithaca, were pinned pretty deep. Is now on the Union side of the
2:05 to
field.
go in the first half, excuse me.
Takes a second to
So
build up
first down
quality
and
here,
10
so we did just
from
literally
Union
jump to this
39
game.
after the 15-yard penalty.
Check back to the sideline here like they often do. You're going to see those quarterbacks give out.
Framingham State 20, Westcon 14. The extra point was good.
Play action, Nabi firing deep. Looking down the field for
Almost
Bauer,
another
and
interception
that was
there.
nearly intercepted once again. Jason Nelson was all over that one, Chad.
That's a dangerous throw. One thing Wahid Nabi's got to work on is
Wesley 16.
Wesley's field goal was good.
You're really throwing that
Over in Brockport, Frank, Alfred's starting to get close to pay dirt here.
Not reachable. I don't think it was obtainable, and I think that was a bad throw. I think I would rather have him go towards one of his checkdowns in Andrew Vito or Frank Martino.
I would have to agree with you there, Chad. An ill-advised pass from Nabi. You don't want to turn the ball over in this situation. The first half is winding down here. You want to.
In fact, I believe they may have scored, James.
With the lead.
Yep. Bryce Morrison.
And then I don't know how in the world he saw that guy. He turned around and it looked like almost entirely and just darted it.
Short pass to Michael Urban. 7 yards. So, hey, Saxons are still hanging in there. 28-17 with a few seconds left in the end of the third quarter.
6-yard gain.
Let's watch this Ithaca drive, though. 3rd and 4, big play.
The give goes to
They call the draw, delayed handoff.
First down. He's going to be right
close
at the marker. I think he has.
Looks like he's got it.
We'll see where they spot it. As he was brought down by a plethora of Union defenders led by Jason Nelson, and it's going to be an Ithaca first down.
Yeah, nice job of Tristan Brown using his legs there, keeping him moving and getting the first down. Does a really good job of using that to his ability.
Nabi to throw. All day in the pocket. Now he's under pressure, and he's going to be sacked.
That's a
from
7-yard
behind.
loss.
Vinny DeCaterino. The first time we've called his name today, but he has been a monster for this Union defense. 8 sacks coming into this one. Add another to his total. He leads the Liberty League. And
Salisbury on the ensuing kickoff against Wesley just got to the 37-yard line or 38-yard line, make it. So they're going to have decent field position to start.
Situational, rotational pass rush.
Interesting story about that DeCaterino guy from Union. Apparently he was a tight end last year, so obviously most high school kids play both sides of the ball, so he must have been a pretty good defensive end in high school because he's really transitioned well.
Now he has 9 sacks, the second sack of the day for the Union Dutchman. That pushes the Bombers back to the 35-yard line, setting up 2nd down and long. So the Bombers have to burn a timeout there with 56 seconds to go in the first half, Chad. Plenty of time for
third, but the passing is not exactly failing them. And
back in Brockport.
Absolutely, and it's really a testament to their preparation this week, Alfred.
Oof.
At this
Good
point,
hit on
superseded Rockport in the amount of times they've passed the ball.
backfield there by Alfred.
From Germanario to Hollister, as they were both taken down behind the line of scrimmage, and Alfred was not fooled at all by that option, as they had everyone going at him.
And while Alfred's chances to win the Empire 8 are pretty slim, they are a pretty attractive candidate for perhaps the New York State Bowl or an ECAC game. Had a pretty good season after graduating a lot of talent after last year's Lambert Cup run.
James, let's talk MASCAC here while we got a moment. Let's kind of focus on the two games again. Here's Plymouth State leading 17-0 on Fitchburg State, but Fitchburg State with the ball.
I think Framingham is actually getting close to the end zone. May want to switch over to see what's going on with the Rams.
Throw to the right side. That's complete, and that's Lastra again. That's more than a check down. That's enough for a first down.
More than a feeling.
Pretty much at the first down sticks that time.
Flag. Back near where Wojcinski threw the pass.
Looks like there's going to be a holding call on this one. So it makes it first and goal to more like first and 17.
First and goal from the 17.
First down, fakes the pass, goes with the run instead, and Brown Simpson up the middle. Found a hole and got some yards.
Well, I give Fitchburg credit. They're fighting here, but the clock just keeps bleeding.
Give Wesley's defense credit as they force the punt. Let's watch this run back.
Simpson makes the catch at the 21-yard line.
Like there could be a flag on this play. There's a lot of guys tangled up, but nope, no laundry.
Now second down, out of the shotgun with Brown Simpson to his left. He's going to throw right.
Oh, let's see the end of that throw. Sorry about that. Now back to this game.
I think the play we just missed might have been a run by Karan Wright, so it's second and goal.
They score
Second
here.
and 14.
It's almost over. I got to be honest about that, you know?
Yeah.
They substitute
I
Cowden
think
back in the running back position. Trips far sideline, one receiver near sideline.
all right, let's see what comes up.
Four down lineman for the
I think it's going to be good, Frank.
Wojcinski takes a shotgun snap.
Here comes the
Quarterback across
blitz.
the middle.
Oh.
To the 10. To the
Wow,
5.
look at that.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Framingham State.
Run him out and calls his own number. That's a huge touchdown, not only for Framingham, but for Plymouth State.
Quarterback Adam Wojcinski.
In the meantime, James, just want to show folks that we are going to halftime at Ithaca. It is 3-3.
In this game, but just coming up short on those plays. Got to convert those if you want to win.
That's
yeah, they were deep in Union territory.
It's been a battle of the defenses so far.
A lot of run plays there that we saw when we were in there, especially that Union 22-play drive. That was an epic drive for 3 points. In the meantime, Framingham State up 2 possessions. Let's go back to the Fitchburg State game after this extra point.
14 lead. Zach Walker into hold. Off the left upright and no good.
Adventures in kicking.
Not been a good day for kickers over there.
Oh, he should have had that, and they should have sacked it and a whole lot of things. This is going to be a great replay to watch, actually, if you didn't catch what just happened at the beginning of it.
And one of the games that we didn't have a chance to cover. Oh, wow, look at that play. Oof. Another quick score update, Frank. Curry is tied 14-14 after a 35-yard Alex Gervaisi pass to Nick Villanueva. So CCC action there.
And in the meantime, Wesley scores a touchdown. They are up 23-20 on Salisbury.
I'd like to know if there was ever a lost cause to that.
You pay more attention to that game as that's going deep into its time. 5:20 left, third quarter. Wesley 23, Salisbury 20. Wesley wins the NJAC with that win if they can pull it out. Here, Plymouth State, Fitchburg State, only 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. These games start at the same time, don't forget.
Yeah.
So the Falcons did have an ineligible man downfield.
Let's take a look at Salisbury's return. Last time they got to the 38-yard line.
The most big plays in the pass game because both of these defenses are stacked up to stop good running games.
And that's after Salisbury just missed on would have possibly been a touchdown the other way just before their 3 and out. Right-footed toe meets leather from Aaron Nelson. We're back underway. Blake Joppy will get a chance to return.
Nice kick.
Near side number 10, 15-20.
Got the return on. Nope, missed. Ooh, boy, finished off there. That was nice.
I think they want to win this game. I'll tell you,
Yeah.
they will sacrifice their bodies for this one.
Yep, they're going all out. 10 unanswered points for the Wolverines, who were down 20-13 at the half, and they're so far the comeback's looking like it might work out. We'll see.
In case you're wondering why this game's going by so fast, these short 3-yard, 4-yard throws are just like runs at the end of the day.
Yeah, clock is not stopping a lot in this game. It's just continually on the run. But then this is it. This is the regular season finale for the Panthers. They are not going to have a game in Week 11. So they're going to be probably watching the end of the WestCon Framingham State game from the locker room before they get on the bus to drive back to New Hampshire.
That's right. Seen that all season. That's right. We'll see how resilient this defense can be right here. We need some pressure.
Back to Alfred and Brockport.
You got to be weary of his outside running game. That's right. He's gonna fake that inside run and definitely dip out to the right. And timeout called by Alfred. And with that timeout, we will also take a timeout here.
Fitchburg State got to the 3-yard line.
Okay, so it looks like they may not get shut out, but not much time left for the Falcons. Even if they do score here, they probably will have to do an onside kick.
Salisbury's gained about 15 yards since we last saw them. That's backward. He could have thrown that. He's got it.
And that's a touchdown. Gives the home crowd something to cheer about, but with just a little over 4 minutes left, they're going to probably, I don't know, Frank, do you try the onside kick, or do you basically hope your defense can get a 3 and out and you do the onside kick?
Possessions, James. So you got to try an onside kick sometimes. There's some time here. In the meantime, Salisbury's got the ball back in the 50. We'll see if they go for the onside or not and let you know.
2nd and 5 on the right hash mark, the white-clad Salisbury University Seagulls. Option is right, and it will go to the second back through. It's Turley, and it was a big delay.
Nice defense there by the Wolverines.
Back to Alfred versus Brockport.
There's Fuentes up the middle. Oh, he's got him. Oh, he almost got in town.
Maybe about the 1.5 yard line, and they're right there.
The Saxons are hanging in there, going blow for blow with the number 10 ranked Eagles.
And they go right back up to the line of scrimmage, and it's going to be a while
timeout Brockport
before Jason Mangoni takes a timeout.
Yeah.
Here's that 35 play for Salisbury coming up against Wesley.
Salisbury on the right hash mark as they go left to right. They need the 45 of Wesley. Counter option. Lewis pitches it right side. He's got Kolb, and Kolb hard by Lowry, but getting the first down is Kolb as he spins down, not out of his own volition at the 45-yard line. That is a
Fitchburg State coming out for the kickoff. Let's see if they go for the onside kick or not here against Plymouth State.
Watching us online. First of all, thank you for watching. We hope you've enjoyed the game. Second of all, the important
we have. Thank you.
Framingham State still leading Western Connecticut with a little more than a quarter to play, 26-14. If the Rams can hold on and win that one, and the Panthers can hold on and win this one, Plymouth State are the MASCAC champions.
Gotta expect the onside kick here.
And there it is.
Now a bit of a scramble.
Got it. It looked like it could have been Falcon ball, but nope. Looks like the Panthers. Number 1.
In the meantime, let's go back to the Salisbury attempt here to tie or take the lead in the late third quarter.
Gain of 11 for Pratt, and that is another first down Wolverines.
Actually, let's go to this. Brockport's defense being tested here. Remember, if Alfred gets a field goal, it's still a one-possession game, 28-20 at that point, but they want the touchdown and 2.
Yep. Both teams still have 2 timeouts. From what appears in the box score. Big, can't tell what this is, third down.
Thrown the ball yet. He is primarily a running quarterback. So he's going to hand it off this time to Nasir Smith, and he is going to be met for a loss of 2 more yards.
Nice defense by the Eagles there.
Again, who else besides Austin Dean?
Let's go to our double box here.
Right there. CFL. Correction, he actually made it according to the spot.
Salisbury in the bottom part of the screen here.
According to it, they're saying he got back to the line of scrimmage. To me, that looked like an
trying to get to field goal range.
Loss. It did look like a loss on that down. I guess they were thinking forward progress there.
Wow, they're going to throw. Oof, and incomplete.
Nope, incomplete, yeah. Nice try, though.
Crowd's getting into it as Fuentes comes back out there.
Looks like we're getting another Wildcat play to Fuentes.
He was fast on that last one they tried. Did he hand it off on a sweep?
He did, and it's a touchdown. Wow.
You can go for 2, or you got to think here.
Making it a 5-point game. We'll see if they go for the extra point and trust their defense or go for the 2-point conversion. Looks like the offense is going to stay out there. Try to make
looks like they're going for 2, Frank.
Audio now to the Salisbury game. Audio for Salisbury.
And it's going to be a pitch out left side to Curley, and Curley's not going to get much as getting through there is Capadonna Miller at the 32-yard line.
Really feels like this Wesley defense just has turned the corner in the second half. They kind of got gashed early on in the first, and maybe a little slow start, but they are really turning it up now and are helping the Wolverines kind of lock the Seagulls offense down.
Oh, this should be an easy 2-point conversion.
That's it.
28-25. Brockport needs the answer.
That was a definite mismatch. It looks like they got the fullback lined up on a linebacker, and he was wide open. Oh, hey, Frank. Switch it over to WestCon. We got something developed over there.
We'll get there in a moment.
At Concord Pets, November is the time to give thanks. Thanks for your family. Thanks for your pets. And thanks for the... We're all caught up.
You're welcome.
In the world. That's why Concord Pets...
There we go. Up and through. 1 minute,
so
54 seconds to play in the third quarter. It's a 5-point game.
All right, yeah. Quentin Fleeting found Tariq Odom for 28 yards. So it's 21-26 Framingham. As you heard, just about a little bit more than a minute left in the third quarter.
If the score stays like this, then Plymouth State, as you know, wins. Hold on here. A long field goal attempt? This is 50 yards. Not even close.
No way. I would have put a guy back there to try to run it back.
No kidding.
That's a risky call in this kind of a game. Wow.
Wesley's balled to 32 because of it, too.
Yeah, I don't get that call by Salisbury, but interesting.
James, let's go to the kickoff here in the Framingham State WestCon game.
And to do the kickoff duties, he has it teed up on the near hash at the 35-yard line.
Too much time for an onside here, but you never know.
Thomas will
nice,
over to field it.
Pretty good deep kickoff.
Toss.
Good coverage.
And he doesn't get much.
Tried a little trickeration, but it didn't pan out. So nice coverage there by WestCon. They really need their defense to get a stop here and put Quinn Fleeting back on the field.
Sorry, James, can Brockport answer is the question here, because Alfred is kind of a runaway train with 2 straight touchdowns, 15 points unanswered now.
Yep.
And try to scamper back to the line of scrimmage. And he gained about half a yard on that play. Second down coming up.
Excited fan over there.
Yeah.
Framingham State gets a first down on the first down play. Oh, that's intercepted.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness. Your number 2 seed is starting to get in trouble, folks. Your potential number 2 in the East. Alfred is a touchdown away from taking the lead. This was 14-10 at halftime. Then Brockport scored 14 straight, only to be answered by Alfred's 15 straight.
adage is defense wins championships in the game of football. And what we're going to see here is a defense.
Ron Wright with a long gain for Framingham State on another first down. That gained a first down. In the meantime, though, we're sticking here.
As Morrison takes a shotgun snap and hands it off, as Fuentes gains nothing as he makes it back to the line of scrimmage.
Fourth quarter just started at Wesley. Wesley with the ball at their own 34-yard line. 2nd down and 8 coming up for them. If it goes to 3rd down, we'll take you there.
This defense is fired up right now, as fired up as they've been all year.
E.J. Lee says, no, sir. In fact, E.J. Lee has gotten all the way over to there. We'll show you.
Nice. Oh, another player down for the Seagulls, it looks like.
Yeah, you're right. Back to Alfred. 2nd down here. 2nd and 10.
Channeling his inner Travis Kelsey here, because he's also been a huge part of the Alfred reception team. And Morrison's going to take the snap, and that's going to be met in
almost
coverage,
picked.
intended for Olivius.
You have to give Alfred a lot of credit for this performance, regardless of who wins or loses. But this is going to probably ding Brockport a little bit in the eyes of some of the committees, even if they do end up 10-0. The fact that they're not dominating this game may raise
James,
a little doubt.
it's a plus-minus. It's a plus-minus because Alfred's going to help their strength of schedule, obviously. In the meantime, by the way, Western Connecticut was just dinged with a pass interference defensively, so Framingham State is just marching down the field. We'll keep our eye on that. And the Salisbury player is still down.
Good pressure coming up. He's got to step up, and it's going to be a
short.
Gain of 5 yards. Who else but Jake O'Connell?
Big defensive play right there.
For a gain of about 6, and that's going to bring it to 4th down. What a play by O'Connell to recognize the dump off and just stick him for a huge 3rd down stop.
It looked like a video would have an opportunity to turn it up and get a 1st down. That was much needed by this Alfred team.
That might be the play of the game right there, Frank. That was a huge defensive stop, especially after that turnover.
Surprise or punting here?
There's enough time, and with 2 timeouts, I think it's, if I'm Alfred, you're still only trailing by 3.
Oh, look at that!
Oh, what a play!
Okay, we're gonna have to come back to this one very quickly because obviously there's a risk of a safety there right now. 28-yard line for Wesley.
To allow that ball to get to
also, Framingham State, let's go back to this as they go backward there. Well, they're going to get forward progress, though. Wesley.
Alex Kemp and James Okiki to the far side. Wesley has brought in Amir Watson from Smyrna as the tight end to the near side. Shotgun Burrows, handoff to Lee up the middle, patiently waiting, but nothing develops as the nose guard able to seal the hole there. Brandon Robeson, a little bit of extracurricular activities at the end of the play. Give Lee a gain of 1. He'll set up a 2nd down and 9.
Yeah,
James, I'm guessing the Plymouth State game went final, correct?
Nowhere to go.
I'll have to double check that. I just saw that Merchant Marine is up 55-28, I think.
Wow.
I'll pull up the Plymouth State one.
In the meantime, here's Brockport with Germanario in shotgun about 4 yards deep into his end zone.
It would not shock me. It would not. As Germanario takes a snap, and he's actually going to hand it off. A little bit of conservative play. And that's Hollister gaining another.
Yeah, I think this is why the punt made sense, especially if they knew they had the coverage. The Saxons are going to get the ball back here, barring some huge play by Brockport.
Trusting your team that they're going to convert it on 3rd down.
Again, single coverage for Ortiz and Hubbard on
2nd
left
down.
with 1 safety. A lot of pursuit coming off the right side, it looks like. Thompson either facing single coverage or double coverage, depending on what Graham does with Alfred, showing blitz.
I think
What's
you
he gonna play off first?
You can stick a fork in Fitchburg because the State's added another touchdown and leads 24-7 with under 3 minutes to play.
Big 1st down for Brockport here. They can take some time off this clock and keep possession.
And Brockport is looking poised right now under a lot of
Another defensive touchdown by the Panthers. 26-yard pick six with 2:48 left. So Plymouth State is going to go 9-1 on the season, and barring some comeback by the Colonials, will likely win the MASCAC. We'll have to see what happens at the end of still a quarter of football to go in Framingham.
Going back and forth here because both teams are trying to kill some clock, you can tell.
Yeah.
In the meantime,
Just dropped the football at the 14-yard line.
I think Ellis came through and kind of swatted it out of there. As it was a good throw by Burrows in there, and Kemp had it. And Ellis was able to come through and kind of knock it out with a little bit of a fingertip, I think.
I thought that was a fumble, but it sounds like it was just an incompletion, so maybe Wesley goes for the field goal here.
That's right, and their three best receivers, it looks like, are on the field right now.
12 minutes left in that game, by the way. This one with 5 minutes left. Uh-oh.
And Germanario fumbles the snap, but he's going to pick it up. He's going to try to...
Oh, he gets laid out. Oof.
But he's going to get met hard.
That's oof. Man, Joe is not getting up from that one. That is really unfortunate. I hope he's okay, but he really took a hard hit on that one.
Second down and 8. Wesley was blitzing into that option to the left, to the defensive left, offensive right side.
And a lot of times, Wesley runs this scheme, this 34 scheme.
I don't know who the Brockport backup quarterback is, Frank, but he's definitely coming in for at least one or more plays.
You guess right, and you can come up with a big play.
But still,
we'll check on that in a moment.
So it's second down and 8 on the right hand.
Salisbury back with the ball.
Right to left. Hand off to the super rack. Pratt, he's got another big hole to the 30, 35.
And these were the kind of plays that they were running in the first quarter that had the Wolverines on their heels a little bit.
Yards and a first down goals.
That's old guard trap right there. That's old-time football.
So what it looked like happened on that Wesley play, Frank, is that it was a fourth down, and the incompletion to Kemp was made it a turnover on downs. Not
they were in no man's land over there, so they really couldn't do anything kicking-wise with it.
Yeah.
That may be a big help for Salisbury today. Play action for Lewis.
Oh, he's in trouble.
Oof, nice play right there. He's lucky he hung on to the ball.
Going back to Brockport. We still have an injury timeout here. You can see they have not rejoined it.
And unfortunately, I have a bad feeling about that one. Hate to see it. We had Joe Germanario as one of our first guests this season, and really nice young man, great leader for his team. Hopefully he's okay.
Framingham State's facing a 3rd and 17 right now in Wisconsin territory.
The option is left. Handoff is going to be a pitch left side to Curley.
They got it. Oh, he's turning the corner. That looked like a play that Wesley might have thrown him for a loss, but they got the corner and came close to a first down, I think.
I think this picture says it all right here.
Oh, jeez. Hopefully it's precautionary.
Well, you can see Alfred players on their knees there.
Yeah. Don't like to see this.
No, not at all. They have not rejoined yet, so we'll keep our eye on what's going on there in the meantime. That's horrible to see, though.
That was 2, I believe. That was Curley.
That type of situation could actually have the committee reconsider Brockport, though, as well. If there is an injury of that degree, Joe Germanario has been that team offensively this season.
But he quickly, after delivering one of those shots with his shoulder instead of wrapping up the defender, I'm not sure if
in case you're wondering, just joined us. It was a bad snap he picked up and tried to run with it, but got absolutely creamed near the line of scrimmage, and we have not seen anything since that point as the camera's been taken off that area of the field. It's senior day at Bob Boozer Field, so
now he's walking a little bit better. And he's laughing a little bit, too, as Andrew Eagle said something funny to him.
Let's, well, Framingham State's got a 4th and 17 in a very auspicious location of the field. This would be a very long field goal to take an 8-point lead. And they're going to try the field goal, looks like, from 42 yards.
Back out onto the field is Clifford. He's lining up.
Well, I have seen this kid kick some long field goals, so I know he's got the leg.
Right, and a quick pitch out. This is going to be Kolb.
And yeah, the 3 points would force the Colonials to have to score a touchdown and complete a 2-point conversion to tie.
Snap ball down. It's blocked. Blocked right at
another
the line.
block kick. There's been so many block kicks in this game.
Westcon falls on it.
That's good news for the Colonials.
Points and a blocked field goal now. You know that? 2 extra points and a blocked field goal. 5 points left on the table.
To make
block
the block,
kicks.
you think he got the ball as well
on that corner.
Option formation is to
We're going to get to that Union Ithaca game again. Don't worry, folks. But we have so many things going on in these 3 games that we're trying to loop around and keep you kind of sane in the process. So just stay tuned with us, and we'll catch some more of the action of some of the 1 o'clock games. But Westcon has a chance here to keep the MASCAC race alive if they win. They would need to score a touchdown now.
And sooner or later, Mike Drass is going to.
In the meantime,
it's a final
Salisbury.
It's a final in Pittsburgh, Frank. Plymouth State has won 24-7.
2 left. Option right. Lewis stumbles and tries to cut up field, but
So the Panthers have done their job. Now they just have to hope the Rams can hang on.
Well, a penalty is being called against Framingham State, and it looks like a large penalty.
Those 2 have been introduced to each
It
other.
pushes the ball to the 39-yard line.
A few collisions.
Yeah. Nice to see the mutual respect there.
Now, remember, Salisbury went for a field goal 2 yards behind this position earlier, about 5-6 minutes of game clock ago. Would they do it again here to try to tie?
Just to the far side of the center of the field.
I think they will. They seem like they go for the points.
Quinn Fleeting's got Westcon in Framingham State territory. Go back there as things heat up again.
It's a gain of 1 on
And another late flag on the sideline of Framingham State. The Rams are falling apart here.
Can Wesley's defense respond with 8:20 to go in the 4th quarter?
You have to imagine this is coming against the sideline.
Must have been something said there about the penalty from a couple plays ago that they just couldn't let go of.
And we've got whistles and a timeout called by Wesley. We'll take it with them. 8:09 to go in the 4th quarter.
8 minutes left in the Wesley game. Let's go back now to Westcon. It's a sideline warning, it looks like, James.
Framingham State, you get 1 warning before a flag.
They're lucky they didn't get a 15-yarder for this.
Throw the flag as a warning, but no yards added on after the play.
James, just to keep everybody kind of apprised of what's going on here, we have not resumed at Brockport. This injury is still taking up the entire game. Obviously, it is that major of an injury.
So to try to replace.
A lot of room to run to the 20, to the 15, to the 10. Take it down inside the 10 at the 7.
Looks like the Colonials might take the lead back on this possession.
They haven't led since 7-0. And James, one more sight that you don't want to see.
Oh, no. Yeah.
As Joe is currently being.
That's actually.
We'll take a
it is Joe Germinario, Brockport quarterback, that is injured here.
Handoff Odom, picking his way forward, and he's cut down from behind. And a
another penalty flag, I think, was just thrown.
Maybe that's some frustration on the part of the Rams, who, when they went up 26-14, thought that they had this one. But got to give the Colonials credit; they're fighting back. Another quick score update, Frank. Del Val is up 21-0 over Misericordia.
Against James Nardi for the Colonials, so move it back 10
James,
yards.
in the meantime, Wesley holds on a 4th down and 1. Salisbury could not convert at the 30-yard line. And it is 1st down Wesley coming back now. That was a huge stop that we couldn't quite get to in time.
Yep. Big play coming up here, though.
They split out Zattrell Lyons and Chisholm as the 2 receivers on the near sideline.
What makes the MASCAC situation so interesting is that 3 teams sort of lie in the balance here, and really only one of them can make the playoffs.
Fleeting will keep it himself. Rush forward, but not get much. Hit on the far hash.
I mean, if you're Plymouth State, you got to be proud of the 9-1 mark.
One on the play.
You're going to play some kind of
their
postseason
strength.
game.
Pittsburgh State doesn't help their strength of schedule, though. I don't believe, right?
Second and goal from the 16. Two receivers near sideline, one receiver far sideline. Odom in the backfield to the right of Fleeting. And up comes Odom up the middle. He's hit at the 10, met by Nathan Fleming and dragged.
30, 20, 10. They're knocking.
Oh my gosh!
Touchdown, Wesley. 60.
Wow, what a play!
Got the gap touchdown. It's 29-20.
Well, wow, it was a little tense.
Caught the tail end of it, Frank, but still, that was a
possible
big play right
backbreaker there. That could have been the NJAC championship right there.
Give Devin Miller and Mo Manuel great credit. And,
again, if Wesley wins this, they've beaten both Salisbury and Frostburg, who would be at one loss below them. They would be undefeated in the NJAC, and that means that they could not lose the NJAC after today if they win.
Kick is away. The kick. It is good. Timeout on the field.
Campbell Marchant hit him right at the 10 and drove him back for a yard.
Update on Brockport real quick here. Everybody's back on their feet right now, waiting for Germanario to be taken away by ambulance. Still a delay here. You can hear the commentators kind of eulogizing about the situation here. Obviously, he's badly injured. It's just a question of how badly. We'll try to get you an update, at least on the show later on in the weekend, if we can find out what his status is.
From the left hash.
Yep.
It's not 3rd and 91. I just want to break the news to everybody.
Probably
Snap
4th.
The ball down. The kick is up. Low kick, and that one's no good.
Well, there's a chance that's missed.
Well wide.
Wow.
So both
the
teams
kicking in this
missed
game
field
has
goals
been pretty bad.
in the fourth quarter. 10 minutes and 9 seconds to play in this one.
10:09 left.
Framingham
Still
State
an eternity.
26 and Westcon 21.
Let's go to the kickoff here for Wesley.
Got too excited there. 2 plays, 70 yards, 39 seconds. And
it was actually a 65-yard run by Burrows. I can do math.
I'll check that.
Because Lee had the 5-yard run and then the 65 by Burrows.
We'll get it right, folks, sooner or later.
Yeah, somewhere in there, I was raised by teachers. I don't know. Right-footed toe meets leather. We're back underway. End-over-end kick by Nelson, and that's going to hit the V in Wolverines in the end zone. That's a touchback. And Salisbury will start 1st and 10 from their own 25, down by 10 for the first time today. 7:25 to go in the fourth quarter.
No, Seagulls are going to have to make something happen with a big play, and big plays are available in their offense. We've seen them slip a guy behind the Wesley defense with the pass. We saw the reverse on their first score, their second drive of the game. So Wolverines got to keep these Seagulls in front of them. They'll give them 4 yards, 5 yards, but they can't give up any big chunks here.
So 1st and 10 for Salisbury. Brandon Lewis under center. Their own 25-yard line, the Gulls. Option is to the right. It's going to be a pitch out to Kolb. He's got the 30.
Salisbury needs one of those long touchdown runs, just like we saw with Burrows from Wesley here. They need to get on the board quickly. And,
like we had said earlier, when in doubt, you got to go with number 2, Will Gladney, especially on a crucial.
So much other games going on, Frank. I kind of forgot about this one.
He has a lot of connection with Will Gladney, especially he's probably one of his most comfortable receivers that he has.
Another big defensive struggle between.
And did a great job of finding it, getting it on the 3rd. You see right on this replay, Will Gladney fighting off this defender. Newman did a good job of coming up on the play, but not in time.
Nice play for a first down there for Dan Swanson.
Every receiving category he has.
Sorry, James lost you for a second there as I had to switch headsets. We've been on so long, our batteries died a little bit there.
He's got a man wide open.
We are good to go. And look at that.
Oh my gosh, look at that pass.
Andrew Vito inside the 5.
We're just talking about Vito, not a big guy, but man, he can make some big plays for these Bombers. That was a huge play that can open this game up.
James, let's go back to Alfred versus Brockport.
New quarterback in for the Eagles.
Do a couple hard counts, but it's pretty obvious they're going to try to milk as much of the play clock as possible. And it's actually 3rd and 10 coming up here after that play. It was 2nd and 8. Howig on 3rd and 10.
Comes the blitz.
And he's going to be
and they got him. Wow.
2 Alfred University defensive linemen. Number 90 and 91.
80 up the middle, trying to fight his way to the goal line. But he is stacked up. After a pickup of about 2, it'll be 2nd down and goal.
Yeah, nice little play on that one. Again, going back to the running game, I like that, especially on first down. On the second down, you're going to have to see some. We'll talk about that in a second. But Andrew Vito, what a job this year, 27 catches.
That's right, and this Brockport defense is going to come in here again fired up and determined to keep this lead. And we've seen them do it time and time again this year.
Brockport season's on the line right here.
Jaeger's punt is going to be at
a big play
at Alfred's 48-yard line.
Now,
again, can't get into the end zone. It's going to be third
look at Union's
down
goal line
and goal for the
defense
Bombers
again
to check.
here.
This is
wow,
an area where
they're coming up big.
You really need to punch this in for 6.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you either are going to go with a run. Oh,
maybe, I don't know if he's
what's going
on with Ithaca, but you'd think they would try to
looks like they're going to bring in the big boys,
get the ball to
so
Tristan Brown unless he's
fade out to Will Gladney, and that's what I would dial up. I'd probably dial up a quick.
James obviously want to catch this Alfred drive. Here we go. We'll go play for play here as we can.
With 3:42 left, and Alfred taking the snap. Morrison rolls out, and that's going to
pick.
Oh my gosh! What a play by the defense. That's going all the way.
That is a pick 6 for Julius Misro.
My goodness. What an amazing play by the Brockport defense. Right
in the meantime, Ithaca was short on third and goal, and a flag is down for unsportsmanlike conduct, likely against Ithaca.
That is a terrible, terrible penalty to take.
Wow. Big mistake, but hey, you know, that's a win for the Union defense. They'll probably end up giving up a field goal here and you know, be behind 6-3. But man,
James, I'm not to interrupt you, but speaking of flags, there was a flag that came in before the player was in the end zone in this Brockport game, and the referees have to talk about what's going on here.
Interesting.
A celebration warning called on Brockport.
Okay, so that'll be assessed on the kickoff or the extra point, correct?
As long as it wasn't taunting in the field of play.
We don't have instant replay, but I don't have to have instant replay to tell you that is just the wrong call.
No, they're going to take the touchdown off the board.
Oh my gosh.
So no pick 6.
A pile up of players. He must have said something or made
in the meantime, Ithaca has to go for a field goal here.
But nonetheless, this is now a
32-yard
field goal for Brunholm.
Celebration fouls in the NCAA are now during the play.
Good kick.
What a kick.
Wow. That was a nice kick. How long was that? 33? Yeah, that's a solid kick.
Yeah, 15. Yeah, 33 yards. You got it. Okay, let's go back to this situation.
But this referee corps is not doing the best job today. Absolutely.
Remember that the opinions shared by the broadcasters don't necessarily go along with ours.
Characteristic ways through the first 8 games prior to this. Christian Hollister takes that run up the middle, and that's going to be a timeout called on Alfred University.
I saw the flag, though, James, go up from the sideline zone, and I'm wondering if a player didn't come onto the field.
Hollister darted right up there and got exactly what he needed.
Yeah, well, I mean, at the end of the day, the good news is that it's a turnover for Brockport. You know, I'm sure they would have liked to have had the touchdown and the 10-point lead. But in a way, it maybe works out better because their offense gets to burn more clock.
So you're wondering what's going on with Salisbury, eh? And Salisbury is driving and to Wesley's side of the field.
Yeah, just a little under 6 minutes, I think, in this one. So still plenty of time. But it's starting to run out pretty quick.
Nice pitch.
Yeah. That about. Ooh, jeez. Man, he just got crushed up.
Marker at the 38-yard line. It looks like they're going to give him the 38. If so, this would be a goal first down.
That's a first down, I think.
A big play here for Brockport. 2nd and 4.
Also baseball player here, 2-sport athlete at Brockport. Hands it off to Hollister again.
Nice run up the middle. That's a first down.
That's going to move the chains.
Now, assuming the live stats are correct, Alfred is down to their last time out, which I think they're going to probably, they just did. So, 3:20. Honestly, Frank, I think that that touchdown getting take off the board is going to help Brockport win this game because it's going to kill the clock.
will say this: if they can get the ball in the end zone, it's 100%.
A couple of quick score updates, Frank. The Merchant Marine tied the school record with 62 points in the 62-27 win over Catholic.
So Nick
We
Cascione
got
back to work, and he gives it to Connor Kinzelman.
14-7 Amherst as well.
Along the left side, a nice run there on first down.
Brandon Lewis under center, option right. Pratt takes the handoff inside, and again he's got space, and he's going to be tackled.
Boy, Salisbury won't die here. Wesley's got to be careful.
Greg Taylor with the tackle.
Husson is going to win 63-0 and clinch the ECFC.
And there was a lot of space inside for Pratt, the superback.
Even if it is in the ambulance over there, he wanted to be with his team for potentially one of the biggest wins of the season.
What I'm hearing is correct. Coach Germanario is still in the vicinity.
He's going to try to fight up the middle, and he is down inside the 1 yard line. Almost reached for it with that football, almost got in the end zone, but he's officially down at the 1 yard line, and the clock is going to run. No timeouts for Alfred. First and goal at the 1 yard line, and the play clock can get milked.
You can't say enough about the resiliency of this Brockport Golden Eagle team to come back from losing one of the hearts and souls of this entire school, let alone this team, and not only get the ball, but drive it down Alfred's throats. 1 yard out from scoring a touchdown here.
That was like an offside.
To the end zone. Touchdown, Brockport Golden Eagles.
So we're coming back out to a 4-screen here, James, and let's update people with what we've got. We'll try to take some of the sound off some of these. But right now you're listening to the Ithaca audio as Union's trying to equalize or take the lead, down 6-3 midway through the third quarter. Salisbury's driving on Wesley. Timeout's been taken, and Brockport looking for the extra point to go up by 10 points.
Yep.
A lot of action suddenly going on around here.
Most of it,
yeah, a lot of potential playoff tickets to be punched. Husson just punched theirs, so Plymouth State is hoping they can punch theirs. We're waiting to see if WestCon can come back or the Rams are going to effectively kind of hand the title to Plymouth State. We'll see.
We'll go back to that game in just a couple seconds.
Third down for this Union offense.
I'm going to check on the, I know it's pretty much probably a done deal, but I'm going to check the final on the RPI Rochester game.
So it's third down,
assuming it's gone there.
As the play clock is winding down to already down to 10 with 3:40 to go in the third quarter. The fans get on their feet. Cascione shovel pass, and that is sniffed out beautifully.
Big stop by Ithaca's defense.
Don't blink with this WestCon FSU game, but look at what's going on here.
Midway point of the fourth quarter, 5-point lead for Framingham. They'll begin this drive at the 19-yard line.
Yeah, what's been going on over here?
Souza split out.
WestCon with a chance to take the lead again.
Chisholm in the slot. One receiver, Austin Calamita, split out on the left.
7:32 left in this game.
Shotgun. Tariq Odom in the backfield to his right. Handoff comes to Odom. Trying to find a hole, bounces out to off left tackle. Good
Look
game
at this.
past the 30 and cut down out of bounds.
Wow.
The 33.
So yeah, it looks like while we were away,
good game.
WestCon got a touchdown on a fumble recovery and briefly had the lead 27-26. And then Framingham State came back and had a 3-play, 63-yard drive in only 48 seconds that was capped by a 27-yard pass from Wojcinski to Dean. So the 2-point pass failed, so hence we got 32-27.
In the meantime, Wesley has the ball back as Salisbury could not convert. So defense that stood. And this game is just about over. Yep.
Yeah. I think Wesley's gonna win this one and
the NJAC.
Lee now.
Yep.
4 carries, 104 yards.
So if it holds up here, a 9th straight 100-yard game for Lee. And he earned every bit of it today. 2nd and 6. Wesley 6 yards away from a conference title. Keeping it as Burrows, running left side, turns the corner, but no, there's not much there, and he's going to go out of bounds. At the
that was not a good move.
Line. What is he doing? And that will stop the clock with 1:44 to go in the fourth quarter. It'll be a 3rd down and 5.
Let's go back to the Westcon game. You know, James, it's an interesting question. What would have happened if Ithaca rather had not gotten that 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty? Would they have gone for it on 4th and goal, I wonder, at the 1?
3rd down.
Yeah, probably. I think they would have.
Need to get it to the 43 to convert for a 1st down. Fleeting with Patterson to his left. Takes the hand off to Patterson, looking to pass. Fires to the near sideline. Pass to complete to Calamita. Pass the man at midfield. Spin out of bounds at the 41. Austin Calamita. Big catch for a 1st down into Framingham territory. Made a man miss.
Salisbury's going to force a 4th down for Wesley, and obviously a punt to go with it.
5:50 to go, 4th quarter. Framingham.
Or are they?
Westcon.
They're going to measure, it looks like.
Calamita split out to the near sideline. Chisholm and Lyons are the receivers on the far
No, it's
side.
a half-yard short. It's 4th and a half yard. Wesley's probably going to have to punt.
Middle to Patterson. He's wrestled down just past the 40-yard line at the 39. Good tackle made immediately by D3BlitzER. Gain of 1. Patterson will come off. Odom will come in.
2nd and 20 coming up here for Ithaca.
Nobby has 2 receivers to his right. Union brings pressure, and Gladney's open once again over the middle. Gladney
to Odom, puts his foot in the ground.
Gladney's having a real nice season for Ithaca.
Absolutely has.
Good tackle.
A lot of names that you didn't necessarily hear of before this year have just really contributed to the success that they've had in this Liberty League season. Nobby, obviously, but a lot of others as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Gain of 2. 3rd and 7 upcoming.
There's a big play in this game as we come down to about 5 minutes, I believe.
Get it to the 30 for a 1st down.
Union player injured, so we'll stay here.
Looks to the sideline, tosses a pitch out to Odom, running off left tackle, being chased down by Fleming. Gets past him, dives forward, close to the 1st down marker. We'll see where they spot.
If he gets that 1st down, that was just pure will, because he should not have had it.
Play in the 4th quarter. They'll move the chains. They won't even hesitate. It is a 1st down.
Wow.
He got it right to the 30-yard marker. 1st and 10. Colonials on the move. They need a touchdown here to take the lead late in the 4th quarter. Patterson will sub into the backfield, standing to the left of quarterback Quinn Fleeting. 2 receivers on the near side, 1 receiver far sideline. 4 minutes to play in the 4th quarter. High snap for Fleeting. Pump fakes. Throws the ball deep down the far sideline.
Looks like he's got. Well, looked like that man was open briefly, but the coverage caught up to him.
Interception by Deshaun Lowry can't be made as he throws to the near side to Sean Rowland. Incomplete. It'll be a 2nd and 10.
A holding penalty in the Ithaca game just pushed them back 10 yards, so they're going to be facing looks like a 2nd and 21 coming up from their 20.
Out of the route just wasn't good, and that's where maybe you can get a turnover and interception. Yeah, Isaiah Ingram, Vince Ebron.
Let's see if Brockport has won the Empire 8 officially yet, or despite the Joe Germanario injury. We're just getting to that right now.
2 wide receivers to each side. 4-man pressure. Escaping out to the left is Lewis. He's going to throw. He's got Curley. One-handed catch to the 45.
Oh, nice play there. It gets out of bounds. Time's running out, though.
It's a gain of 19. That should give him,
Oh, James, you will not believe this.
What's going on here?
Another injury, apparently.
Oh, goodness.
As another ambulance on the field. Unbelievable what has happened in the last 2.5 minutes of this game.
Yeah.
Lewis, 5-step drop. Trying to set up a screen right side.
Rockport was penalized for roughing the passer, so is this like a payback hit, or, I mean...
Pick 6, but we'll stop with the mini picket fence remaining, 1:11 to go in the 4th quarter.
I don't know, but then, I mean, look at all around us here. We're having injuries.
Nothing too concerning, especially not letting out any grunts or anything like that. Just looks pretty clear that it's just maybe could be...
You know, week 10, you would think that you're conditioned in terms of the players well enough to avoid a lot of these injuries, but today it's been bumper crop as we go game to game.
Going right to left. They need the Wesley 43. Shotgun Lewis. Three-step drop, steps up, floats out to his left, got space, he gets the 50, the 45, shakes a tackle. Najee Wilson finally gets some.
They're going to have to throw the ball here, Salisbury.
That's a gain of 17
Yeah,
yards.
just saw Sean Green tweet out that they're about 134 left, so it's.
Two wide receivers to the left, two to the right. Lewis in the shotgun. He is back. Under pressure, throwing over the middle. It's caught.
I think pass, but yeah, that's with no timeouts. I guess the clock will stop for the first down, but Eagles really got to move.
7 seconds left. Wesley rotating in line.
And here's the Ithaca injury still in the field and players on knees, as you can see. Let's go back to Salisbury.
Throwing the out route right side and incomplete too
Yeah,
far as he was looking on that far side of the field for Josh McClain. And that will set up a 2nd down and 10 with 38 seconds left to go. Wesley 30, Salisbury 20.
And Wesley staying in their option defense here, rushing 5 every time. They have a nose guard, 2 defensive tackle / ends, and then the 2 outside linebacker / defensive ends are bringing them too.
So Ithaca, we have an injury timeout. At Brockport, we have an injury timeout.
Brockport and Alfred sidelines, as well as the bleachers on both sides of the field.
You know where we maybe should go during these timeouts, Frank?
WestCon.
Yep.
Hold on, though.
And Wesley's going to win the conference title. Capadonna Miller, who hurt his ankle earlier in the drive, gets his 5th pick of the season, and this one clinches a conference title.
Well, they tried to hit the wheel route down the sideline, or that deep route, and pass was way overthrown. Capadonna Miller staying back in that.
And WestCon's got the lead right now.
4 seconds on the clock.
Wow.
Gives the Colonials the lead back 33-32. They'll keep their offense on.
They can go for 2 to try to take a 3-point lead.
And a timeout will be taken by WestCon. They want to talk this over.
Let's go back to Wesley for their celebration.
Under center takes the football, puts his right knee down, and the Wesley College Wolverines have clinched the New Jersey Athletic Conference Championship.
There's the first ticket we can officially punch today in our, well, actually Husson punched one, and now Wesley's punched one.
Wesley College football.
We got two East Region champions crowned. Going
We
to be a
almost have
photo finish
3.
though for.
Yeah. I mean,
And
the Brockport
you know what,
situation
Frank?
should have been done with.
Yeah, and you know who may not be punching a championship is Trinity. They're losing 21-7 right now with about 4 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter.
We'll get to that one once we get some clarity on what's in front of us here in Pool A conferences. And that 2-point conversion is coming up here, but let's leave this one for good. Wesley has won 30-20 over Salisbury. Back to the FSU game where WestCon is leading.
Lions in the slot on the near sideline. Patterson is to the right of Fleeting in the shotgun. 2-point conversion. Patterson going to the ball in the end zone, complete, and the 2-point conversion is good. Fleeting to
Got to
Lions.
think that Plymouth State may be watching this game or us here.
35-32, Western Connecticut State with a 3-point lead with 64
What's our Curry
seconds to
update?
play.
Curry update, yeah.
Well, let's see we have an injury report here for the Ithaca
and that
game.
first target went straight to J.R. Zazzara. So clearly they think he'll be capable to fill in that spot where Frank Martino went out. Guys, back to you.
Frank Martino is the injured player.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
We did see that.
This is going to be the
We
end of the
got-
3rd quarter.
Right to Zazzaro after he checked into the game, but
We got Western New England up 35-21 on minutes to go in the 3rd quarter, according to the statistics.
Okay, James. It looks like we're back to action now. This is going to be the first place since the injury.
In the final 2 minutes and 27 seconds here. Emotional for both sides with both quarterbacks being out for injury. But the game does
Both
play
quarterbacks
on.
are out for injury. Unbelievable.
Empire 8 championship.
Yeah, that's what I thought when I saw the unsportsmanlike penalty and the person who was hit was the Alfred quarterback, Misro. I was like, I can't believe that just happened. I mean, I don't know if it was in one of those eye for an eye kind of situations or just a fluke play, but I hate to see that.
And they are not
looking to squander that opportunity
across
whatsoever.
the field,
And
forward to the 35,
in
past
fact,
the 35
they looked
to the
more
37.
fired up than ever with the person we all love, Joe.
Short kick.
Alf will be very fired up.
So we're going double box here because obviously the Brockport-Alfred game not really in doubt. We just want to see if Alfred can score quickly here with about 2 minutes left. This WestCon game is the one that's more interesting in terms of score right now, 35-32 WestCon, but Framingham State back with the ball after the kickoff. And it looks like they're going to get a penalty tacked on here.
seconds on the clock. Framingham State trails it by 3, 35-32. Late flag came in as well. It's an offside penalty against the Colonials, so they'll tack on extra yardage after it as well. So the return was to the 34, add 5 yards to it to the 39. Excuse me, the return was to the 39. Now they'll add on the 5 yards. So we'll actually start it at the 44.
Brockport's defense is absolutely attacking the offense right now. Let's go. Big sack there. It's 2nd and 22 coming up.
But that's still a huge momentum boost for this defense on first down.
I got a pretty crazy stat for you when we take a break.
I don't know if we're going to get a break per se at this pace.
Yeah, right.
And he's going to try to find over the middle. Throws behind the intended receiver, Olivius. Clock stops.
So one of the games that we were keeping an eye on down in Pennsylvania, Widener's up 21-6 over Kings. They've had 6 sacks and 5 interceptions in the first half alone. So it looking like with Del Val winning comfortably next weekend, we'll see who's the man. Nice run there.
No kidding, and it's much needed right now.
26 seconds to play.
26 seconds left in this game.
Territory at the 30.
In the meantime, Alfred's running possibly for a first down. Oh my goodness, that's close.
33-yard line.
Just short.
Clock stopped with 26 seconds. Rams do have a couple of timeouts.
But let's go full box on this one.
Split out near sideline, 2 receivers far sideline. Wojcinski again rolling to his left. Fires the ball. Complete again to Bruce. This time he gets out of bounds.
They're playing so soft on them, James, and they've just put him into field goal range.
Cats along the near sideline. 21.7 seconds on the clock. That play took 5.3. It is enough for a first down. Ball at the 21.
Alfred fumbled snap there.
Was big.
1st and 10 Rams.
Looks like they're celebrating in Brockport.
Fourth quarter.
I think that's the final knockout punch.
I think it is.
In the shotgun, might have been jumped against the Colonials. Handoff to Calvin.
Wow, look at this run. That's even closer field goal range. But then again, Frank, we've seen so many missed kicks today.
Well, but first things first, there's a penalty on that play. So we'll stop the clock for now.
It does. It really does. And this
16.5 seconds showing on the clock at the moment.
16 seconds at WestCon. Brockport, we're watching for their celebration for punching their ticket, the 3rd of the day for us.
To get the down. More so to stop the clock.
We'll go back there in a moment.
And they come over to the sideline to discuss with Framingham head coach Tom Kelly.
It doesn't get any better than that for Coach Mango and the rest of the coaches and for the entire Golden Eagle community.
The Alfred University and Brockport Golden Eagles and shaking hands together in the trenches. Maybe a sportsmanship.
Clock is ticking with 14. Wojcinski back to pass. Throws into the end zone looking for Bean.
He got him!
Touchdown, Framingham State! Adam Wojcinski finds Stephen Bean in the back of the end zone. A 21-yard touchdown hookup. And with 10.1 seconds to go, fourth quarter, Framingham State has the lead back 38-35.
Unbelievable. And who's the biggest beneficiary from this? Plymouth State is 10 seconds away from winning the MASCAC.
Oh, my God.
45 seconds, and they take the lead back 38-35. Wojcinski to Bean, running the skinny post.
The extra point's important here because it would make it more than a field goal. Let's go to a celebration, though, as Brockport loses their quarterback but wins the Empire 8 today, and they are going to the playoffs.
They are 9-0 on the season, as Ed said, and they will go to the NCAA Division III playoffs after taking on St. Lawrence a week from today at 1 p.m. at St. Lawrence. That's right. This was the last home game of the year. If we are lucky enough to host a playoff game, Ed and I will be there with you, calling game for Brockport Athletics.
Without Joe Germanario,
Well, have to stay tuned
next
for
week
the
they got to
last
win
of the year
against
and
St.
the
Lawrence.
standings for that.
Assuming Joe is that hurt. Again, we'll try to get an update here. Obviously, it's going to be tough to while we're on the air today, but at the end of the weekend, hopefully we'll have something for you folks. Let's go to the extra point here for the FSU game. Now, they're trying to go by 4.
Is to make it a 4-point game. Snap ball down, kick is up, and it is good.
Almost another block, though.
1 seconds to play.
Yeah, biggest
in the
PAT
fourth
kick in the whole
quarter.
season for
Framingham
them.
State,
And for
39,
Plymouth State.
Western Connecticut State 35.
In case you've missed it, they've missed 2 extra points and a field goal from blocks. FSU has. It would be a 9-point game if that had not happened, or they would actually have won this game probably by now because it would have taken knees. But instead,
1-yard touchdown strike.
Look at what happens.
Adam Wojcinski to Stephen Bean. Right down the field go the Rams. They take the lead in the fleeting seconds of the fourth quarter.
That was a bad pun.
Kind of ironic.
The quarterback for WestCon will get one more shot at it. So Clifford and the kickoff unit are on the field.
Been pretty exciting few games, man. I wasn't sure how this would all come together, but it seems to have lived up to the hype, if you ask me.
As this is
Ithaca had a 4th and 1, but forced a kick.
Newman watches it out of bounds at the 39.
Boy, Ithaca just can't. Offensively, they look like they've been dominating Union. They just can't score.
Tune in to the Gridiron Report tomorrow night at 9:30. As always,
Let's go to the kickoff.
Clifford to step into it. It is a squib kick. Goes angles near sideline off
Right.
the body of a WestCon.
Okay, well, it's 38-yard line or thereabouts. I think WestCon has at least 2 timeouts, maybe at least 1. Once again, the stats are kind of frozen up.
7.2 to go, fourth quarter.
7 seconds to go. Wow.
Let's set the scene here a little bit. We've had Husson punch a ticket. We've had Wesley punch a ticket. We've had Brockport here punch a ticket right there. And right now, Plymouth State, by way of this game, may punch a ticket as well. 4 out of the 8 conferences that could punch tickets could do so today.
For WestCon, do have a timeout they can use. Calamita is the receiver, split out near sideline. Lions receiver far sideline.
You can see real soft prevent coverage on this one by the Rams.
2 down linemen. Here's Fleeting. Fires the ball over the middle. Complete to Calamita. The lateral goes over to Chisholm. Chisholm laterals it back. It goes out of bounds. And it'll do it. There's no time left on the clock. WestCon's trying to say there should be another half a second maybe. Zeros on the scoreboard, and that will do it. So Framingham State, in the final 10 seconds, a touchdown strike from Adam Wojcinski to Stephen Bean. That does it, and they win it. Final score from Bowditch Field, Framingham State 39 and Western Connecticut State 35. So the Rams keep their postseason hopes alive. They improve to 8-1 on the season and 6-1 in MASCAC play. Western Connecticut State, they fall to 7-2 and 5-2 in MASCAC play. The Rams will need a win next weekend in the season finale as they'll take on Worcester State right here at Bowditch Field at 12 o'clock noon. But what a game it was today between 2 7-1 teams. Again, the final score from Bowditch Field in Framingham, Massachusetts. The Rams emerge with
Framingham
a
State's strength of
39-35
schedule
victory
improves, obviously,
over
from
Western
this.
Connecticut State. Thank you for joining us here.
And I guess it could be a moral victory in the sense that I guess they could win a share of the title, even though they won't get the Pool A bid. They'll definitely be probably one of the first teams picked for the New England Bowl, if not an ECAC Bowl, assuming they file.
They need the 39. Nobby. All day to throw. A flag flies as Andrew Vito makes the grab. He's brought down short of the sticks, and it's going to be a penalty on Ithaca.
Going to be holding on Jake Troy.
I haven't really had a chance to take a good look at the stats here, Frank, but what I can see here
great job of getting on
Union's
the outside.
really struggling offensively. They only had 9 first downs. They have 92 rushing yards, and they're holding Ithaca to only 26 rushing yards. But
Welcome to
they've
the
given
Union
up.
season, James.
Yeah, they've given up 238 passing yards. They've only thrown for 81 yards themselves. So the Dutchman kind of just slugging it out here. 5 of 11 on third down. They need something to break their way if they're going to make something happen here.
And Nelson are back once again. This is another short kick. Nelson fields it off the hop at the 30. Tries to cut up field, but there's nothing doing.
James, let's look at 2 games we have not looked at yet.
First, Widener. The first play of the third quarter and gets 5, gets out above the 30-yard line, pushes his way, doesn't quite get to the 31. That'll bring up a second down. He still gets 5, 2nd and 5 for this offense.
Yeah, honestly, see Ennis downhill run like that.
You have to give Kings some credit that they're only down by 15 points if they've had so many turnovers in the first half.
Just starting the second half there.
Yeah.
Penetration that time by the
Their defense must be playing pretty good.
Misericordia, on the other hand, boy, guys, could you zoom that camera in just a little bit, folks?
Look at the beautiful fall foliage, Frank. I mean, come on.
Because that's what we wanted to do on this show. Look at that foliage. Oh, my.
Yeah, holy cow. I'm assuming Misericordia, the team in blue, and the white jerseys are Del Val. So
yeah, I think you're right.
Shotgun.
Yeah.
Like again, no running room. First guy to hit him, Christian Snowden.
Well, Misericordia's got the ball apparently too. Well, we'll sparingly look in at that game.
I think he was actually going for Gillespie there.
Welcome to Division 3, folks. In case you didn't know what it was all about.
Yeah, how about we take a peek in on that Amherst game,
Yep.
Frank?
I was just going there.
He's going to sneak back into this one because they've looked pretty much unbeatable this season, although Williams gave them a scare. They took care of Middlebury, although Middlebury was without their quarterback. And right now, yeah, it's still the Mammoths. They're winning by 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. Trinity needs to score here, or they're going to be in trouble here.
Of the third quarter, we'll keep it here and stay right here with 13 minutes and 41 seconds to go. Your Midas of Doylestown, keys to the game with Warren Schmidt.
Well, the keys to the game are simple. Win the line of scrimmage. And so
Ask and ye shall receive.
Here we go. Yeah, well, some good pressure there. Nice move. Good play by the Amherst quarterback to get out of trouble there. He was under a lot of pressure. This makes things interesting in the NESCAC race because a loss by Trinity would drop them to 7-1. Basically, Amherst would also be at 7-1. It could be a kind of a crazy 2- or 3-way tie situation depending on how it goes in the final week of the season.
James, I'm seeing a stat here. Maybe you can confirm it. Springfield today has beaten Maine Maritime, I believe, and has outgained Maine Maritime 585 to 75 in yardage.
Whew, man, yeah, that doesn't surprise me. The Maine Maritime is still in a turnaround situation, and Springfield's firing off on all cylinders. So, a nice win for them, and they stay in the hunt for that Pool B bid.
Well, here's the status. We are in the fourth quarter. Is that? Yeah, with 11 minutes left, Trinity's going to have the ball at the 2-yard line. Their own 2, coming out on offense. Here at Union, 4th and 1 coming up for the Dutchmen with 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Ithaca's leading 6-3. Let's go back to Trinity for the first play in their shadows of their own end zone.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not getting audio at all in this one. I'm not sure what happened here because we had it earlier, I believe.
You're an old play-by-play, Frank. Why don't you...
Puzo hands it off, and not much gain there. Gain about 2 yards on the play. They'll make it 2nd and 8 coming up. They get a little bit of room there, but obviously they need to score here because they're running out of time, James.
Yeah, no kidding. 98 yards is a long way to go and you're still be down by a touchdown. So it's one of those... They need to start throwing some pass plays, I think.
Union's going for this on their own side of the field.
Wow, this is risky.
No.
And he doesn't have it.
second effort.
Oh,
I think
wait.
he got a good spot from the official. The line judge just ran out there. I think they're going to give it to him.
The opposite marker or official
The far
for the
official,
marker,
yeah.
I think the line judge might have helped him out with that one.
Ithaca defense thinks it's their ball. It's going to be a measurement on the play.
It's first and 10 either way. That's why it changed on the scoreboard there.
Right at the fourth down marker. They're going to bring it on this one. Like I
Okay,
said,
while they bring the chains out, let's see the second play from the end zone for Sonny Puzo and the Trinity Bantams. Here's that H in Amherst you always pick on me about. Oh. Here's the measurement.
No good there. Yeah, this is going to be a big call right here.
He is right.
Uh-oh.
And
he got it.
He got it.
First down.
That's
huge.
That's just by a hair.
Huge play right there. Dan Loizo shot the gap. He hit Connor Kinzelman right at the line of scrimmage, but Kinzelman a fantastic second effort, and that is, that's what got him the first down by inches. Union moves the sticks, and Ithaca, wow, that is tough for them to swallow.
I mean, yeah, football's a game of inches, and kind of so is life. So definitely have to look at that one. But they were able to get it into Kinzelman.
That's why the Park School is the best out there, Frank. It's clips like that.
Second effort by Kinzelman got the first down.
I thought my stuff was cheesy.
So a shovel pass to Shaneman once again. The third time they've run that shovel pass today.
I love it.
The second time
I'm sorry.
Shaneman, and it hasn't succeeded all day long, but they're going to go back to it once again here.
So Frank, is there any players on this Union team at wide receiver that can maybe catch a 40-yard touchdown pass, or are we just going to keep seeing this sledgehammer style football?
You watched them against Hobart catch. Beal had a couple
of
big ones.
Calcione was throwing the ball all over the place. I mean, maybe the secondary just isn't up to snuff compared to the Bombers, but yeah, I'm just surprised that they can't seem to get anything going in the vertical pass game. They just keep doing these, sweeps and shuttle passes and all that kind of stuff.
It looks as though
Looks like
does have it, or at least they're saying they have it, and they do.
Ithaca ball
That's a big fumble.
at midfield.
Connor Kinzelman, and the Bombers are going to
I think it was Coach Swanstrom getting all excited there, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe Kenny Bradley came out with the
sack
football.
will bring up second down,
and Ithaca creates a huge turnover. And the offense is going to head back out there.
So, again, looking at our three games that we're kind of keying in on here, you've got the Ithaca Union game on the corner to me. You got above me Widener Kings, Widener leading by 15 in the third quarter, just started there. And Trinity has gotten a little bit of spacing here, it looks like, but not much. They're around the 15-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like Jordan Shem was the one.
Yeah, the only other game that we're kind of keeping an eye on, but unfortunately we can't put up on the screen right now, is the Western New England Curry one. Last score update I saw was Western New England was leading 42-28 at the start of the fourth quarter, and that's still the score that shows now. So Golden Bears looking like they're in good shape to win the CCC.
And they're -1 now today, and that might prove to be the difference in this one.
Still a lot of time left. 7 minutes is a long time, especially with Union's defense playing so well.
Brown gets the carry, and he backs his way to an Ithaca first down.
So, Frank, maybe walk the listeners through the scenario here. If Ithaca wins and if Union wins, we know that RPI has won. I didn't check the final, but they were up like 56-0 in the third quarter over Rochester. So it's going to come down to a couple of different scenarios, and what are they?
Well, basically this. Ithaca wins, then Union would hold their destiny in their hands, Ithaca's destiny, that is. If Ithaca wins, Union wins next week, Ithaca goes. If Ithaca wins and RPI wins next week, RPI goes. That's it. Simple as that. Okay. And right now, it's leaning in that direction. Let's go full box here so we can see the time remaining. 6:41 left in the fourth quarter. If Ithaca scores a touchdown here, I would say this game's over, but... Oh, and a face mask against Union.
He's got to be careful. He was awfully close to the official there.
Ouch.
They'll give you another flag if you're not careful.
That's a killer.
15 yards and a first down.
It's a pretty obvious call from up here in the booth. So it's a 15-yard
tough break.
penalty.
It got called on Jack Riley, who I know has had a really great season for the Dutchman. That's a tough deal right there.
And in the meantime, Amherst, touchdown. And they will be one win away if they stay in this position of winning the NSCAC. They would have to win next week. And in the meantime, we'll go back here to see that Ithaca didn't score, but they are darn close. Again, this is the third time they're in the red zone that we've seen. But they've come away with 2 field goals so far in the red zone.
Definitely going to be maybe a little bit more of a confidence kind of thing, but so far this receiving core is playing well. You're going to see right on this play, you're going to find Bauer right out towards the middle, towards the sideline. Great throw by Nabi. Almost stayed in, just quite couldn't ballerina it in, but setting the offense up with great field position in the red zone.
First down and goal to go for the Bombers.
What do you think, run, or do you actually try to throw this? Throw, apparently.
Here's Gladney in the corner, and it's broken
up.
Great
coverage right there.
Flag down.
I don't know. That's
he didn't turn his head to the ball. That's going to get called every day.
Yep, drove into the body before the ball got there, didn't turn back. I mean, there were 2 things he did wrong in that play.
I know it's a heated game, it's an important game, but you've got to keep your.
Maybe I need to text our friend Matt Noonan, but isn't the loss by Trinity today going to break something like a 20 or some really long win streak by them?
Yeah, I think you're correct.
Because going to keep up on it, they're going to try to piss you off again. There it is again. Union, like I just said, Union. You got to be careful. You can't say stuff to the referee. You can't throw your hands at him. It's going to get on you.
It's a 1-yard penalty right now. I'm not really worried about it if I'm Union.
41 yards, one of the best.
I'd rather have it happen here than, let's say, 40 yards back.
Division 3 does a great job of using his catch radius. But again, Paul Chambers, you got to be.
Gladney is a real strong athlete, man. He just looks like a football player.
Yeah.
The ref's going to throw.
He agrees with you
every time.
Yeah.
So Chambers.
First and goal from the 1 coming up.
This could be the knockout punch.
Really unhappy with the call made on him in the end
5:53 left here, fourth quarter.
Against Will Gladney, I'm kind of in agreement with him.
Just haven't seen enough of the Union offense to make me think that they can put up 10 points in under 5 minutes. I could be wrong, but this. Well, let's see if. It's only 2nd and goal. Let's see if they can hold them off one more time. They've done it a couple times in this game.
Not happy with the way that this game has been officiated so far this afternoon. But it's first down and goal.
I don't know why they're not happy. They got a 15-yard gift on the 1-yard line on the other end earlier.
Yeah, no kidding. I don't think anybody's ever happy with how games are officiated.
I think you're right.
And the give is to Brown up the middle, and he's not going to get there.
See? Look at that. Well, I was wondering what was going on with Tristan Brown today, and no luck there.
Well, one thing, though, that this does, they're going to take 40 seconds off the clock before every play here. This may actually benefit.
Union defenders there. Let's see if they can get it on here. I think
in the Western New England Curry game, Corvesi got intercepted at the 4-yard line. So it's a Golden Bear ball, about 13 minutes left on the clock, up 42-28. Here we go, 3rd and goal. Second and goal.
2nd and goal, yeah.
Bobby looks to the sideline.
Okay.
The snap. The give. Brown up the middle, and he's in. Touchdown, Bombers.
I'm surprised they didn't have Brown in on some of those other goal line plays before. He's a solid running back. He's not very big, but he's stocky. Low center of gravity, hard to see if you're a linebacker behind the offensive line.
I think they were trying to pass it a little too much on the goal line. That's where you saw in the first half they kind of were unsuccessful in a couple of them. In terms of being this down deep in the field, you got to run the ball, especially with a guy like Tristan.
So now Union's looking at a 10-point deficit with about 5:08 left on the clock.
Tristan Brown and a huge touchdown.
Interesting to see how this kickoff goes, and if Union can get down the field quickly, they need 2 scores.
So it's Ithaca 13, Union 3 with 5:08 to go in the 4th. This would be a huge win for this Ithaca team as they head into Corsica next week, as you see Tristan Brown barreling his way into the end zone for 6. A huge drive off the fumble recovery by Jordan Shem. And the Bombers now find themselves 5 minutes away from winning a share of the conference title, Chad. They would not be able to watch the RPI game next week because they have a game themselves, but they would be rooting hard for the Engineers.
Absolutely, and even if you do
Excuse
get a win,
me, for the Dutchman.
Yeah,
for the Dutchman.
Yeah, even if you do get a win, you get a share of the title. I think
no one can ever figure out these tiebreakers, Frank. At least I'm not the only one.
This game is definitely far from being over. I think we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. 5 minutes is a long time.
Speaking of Cortica, Cortland's up 17-13 against Utica. Not that it has any impact on this game, but
Beal, nice return. He lost the ball.
oh no!
The ball
Oh, that was
there's
lucky.
a pile up for it at the 41.
Look at this
Well,
pile.
we'll see.
Oh, it's a
In these
scramble
big
for the
piles, you
football.
never know.
Who's got it?
It looked like number 86 landed on it after it popped out.
Yep.
If it works out, that's about a 40.
Ithaca says they have it.
Ithaca's saying that they wrestled it out.
Did you see that? He got right out of it. And I think they're going to give it to
It's Ithaca football.
Wow.
That's big.
I thought Union fell on that, absolutely.
And I think that was one of those where the guy got his pocket picked, or he didn't. Strongest arms in the bottom of the pile won the fight. So that's a killer for the Dutchman right there.
This time it's Griffin.
So, James, one thing I want to say. We've been talking about the Curry West New England situation. It's disappointing to us personally here because with Curry, Curry's one of those schools that historically has always had that chip on their shoulder as a New England school about the coverage, about having the opportunity at success, etc. And I honestly think we tried to get Coach Mandini earlier in the season. They passed on that. We tried getting them to give us rights to the Western New England game. They didn't even respond to us in that. We tried 3 different times this week without response, even once to the athletic director. It's very disappointing to us because, again, New England schools will have that chip on their shoulder, Curry especially. I detailed it back when I covered the Curry versus St. John Fisher game about a decade ago, and how the football level in New England was not being helped by the, let's say, resources the schools were contributing to the programs. Since then, it's improved. We've gotten behind that fact and everything else. And so for Curry to sort of give us that cold shoulder treatment, I understand you don't love media possibly if you're a Curry, but at the same time, what is that? You rob the opportunity for people to see a game like that and maybe even link into your stream more than they would have otherwise if they didn't want to just see clips of it. They want to see the actual game play out. So I got to give thumbs down, in my opinion, right now to Curry and the way they handled us the last couple of months here. You're robbing your players more than anything else in this situation. After really a good season, we only got to see so much of them and talk to them only so much.
Yep. Well, I know overall that we have a lot of friends in the CCC. We had a great interview with Anthony Service from Western New England earlier in the year. The folks that run their conference social media have been very supportive. Kevin DeWall is a longtime friend of the show over at Endicott. So it's one of those things. It could be a program thing, could be an administrative thing, but yeah, it would have been nice to be able to cover them there because that the outcome of that game does have an impact on the playoffs, and we would have loved to have included it.
Absolutely. We should change our name of the show to the Big ER there. You just caught that. In the meantime, we'll go and sweep through the games that we were covering, and Widener has extended their lead on Kings 27-6. What we're going to end up doing here, unless these scores turn around in some way, is we'll see the Del Valle and Union games to the end, and then pretty much probably let people watch what's remaining at that point. Let's also take a look. I think we lost the feed entirely from Amherst. Let's see if that's improved or not.
That offensive tackle's had his workload is full today going against Kirshner. He's trying to get in his stance. Huge call, though.
While we're checking on that, as Frank mentioned earlier, there was a number of teams that have qualified for the playoffs today. A couple of conferences that won't include the MAC, which we were just watching Widener, and here we are back with Amherst and Trinity. Trinity's not going to win the NESCAC today. That's going to be decided next week. Although the winner of that conference doesn't participate in the NCAAs, it's still a conference title, and it's relevant in that respect. But we're pretty sure we're going to have a champion from the CCC crowned in a little bit if Western New England can hang on. They have one more game to play, but as far as the standings go, they would have beaten the two teams that would be other possible contenders. So you have Western New England punching a ticket. Springfield kind of has sprung, has at least probably gotten a share, but they really need to win out and beat MIT next week for the NUMAC to have a participant in the playoffs with Springfield coming in at 10-0. ECFC was won by Husson today, pretty solidly. We saw the situation unfold with WestCon giving away to Framingham, who effectively won the title for Framingham State. Framingham winning it on a 10-second touchdown at the end of the game. And Plymouth State effectively gets a bye week before the playoffs. So they won't really be able to game plan until the brackets are released on Sunday, the 12th. And we did confirm that we will have on to the show for the 10th season now the chair of the NCAA selection committee. So we're excited about that. We'll keep you guys posted on that front.
Very good.
We got
James,
Wesley winning the NJAC.
Yeah,
it was another ticket puncher there. We got Brockport. So realistically, Frank, when the second round of the East Region rankings come out, probably won't see any shifts at the top. I mean, it's possible that it could take into account, if Joe Germanario's season's over, then Brockport, yes, is definitely a different team. But I don't think that would necessarily cost them a spot to Springfield. And then at fourth position, you'll probably see Wesley again. Frostburg will probably remain intact as well. And then, the rest of the way down the line, Husson, the only question we have is whether or not Union will drop out and where Ithaca might pop up if the Dutchmen lose today. And same thing with Western New England. If they're the conference champions of the CCC, do they effectively jump on the board in the top 10?
Actually, I'm just texting Joe Germanario to see if we can get anything directly from him because I'm curious to see if we can find out his status as you brought that up during the rundown there. We'll see if, they were saying that he stuck around despite being taken off by ambulance. He's stuck in the vicinity.
Yep.
So I'm not sure what the seriousness is.
Yep. And touchdown there by Trinity, but too little too late. So I think the Mammoths are going to take this one.
So the Bantams make the score look more respectable at 28-13.
Okay, let's kind of go around the horn here one more time and see what we got.
Kind of, suck you into, hoping for a loss. You got to take care of, business as yourself, and then you hope for that RPI loss. Exactly. So, definitely going to be something that...
you go from mortal enemies today to biggest fans next week if you're Ithaca to Union.
Yeah.
Because Union holds their life in their hands for the playoffs.
Yeah, they do.
Under 2 minutes left here, and obviously Ithaca in a position again to score on a 3rd and 3. If they get the first down, you got to think they'll just take knees at that point as Union's out of timeouts.
1:42 to go.
1:42, yeah, it's looking like Ithaca's going to take this one. Yeah, it's something about that Butterfield Stadium, Frank. It's a really hard place to go and win if you're a opposing team.
Obviously, a big game upcoming.
Started off the season when Hobart went there and couldn't do it, and now here it is. Ithaca's getting one over on Union as well. Del Valle just extended their lead 44-7. They clinched a share of the MAC title. It will be decided next weekend, as we said, so that's something to keep an eye on.
So we're going to have 3 conferences not decided next week based on how things are playing out right now. And also the NESCAC. The NESCAC's a different story. 3 Pool A conferences are not quite decided, or Pool B perhaps as well. Springfield/MIT, they play next week in a must-win game for both. Must-win game especially for Springfield and the NUMAC's playoff hopes because they're in Pool B. Let's watch this play, then we'll go through the rest because this conference is involved in this discussion. Touchdown, Ithaca. The Liberty League, it's going to come down to the Dutchman Shoes game, but Union can't win the championship. It's Ithaca that could win, basically Union's Ithaca's proxy next week. And Widener.
Said a couple in this game, definitely been.
Are they calling this back? Yep.
But, he's done
must have been a hold or something on the play there.
And Widener versus Del Val. Those are the 3 games to watch for next week, James, because the NJAC, the MASCAC, the ACFC, the Empire 8, and am I missing one? The CCC are all decided at this point.
Yep. Yeah. There seems to have been a stall on the live stats on the Curry game, so it's hard to tell what's going on over there. There was about 7 minutes on the clock with the Bears with a 2-touchdown lead.
Let me see if I can find out for folks that are still sticking with us here. And again, we're going to be leaving this game soon. Wow.
For his 7th touchdown of the season, a bruising finale, a bruising cap to a fantastic afternoon for the Bombers as they are up 3 scores with a minute and a half to go. Ithaca
4:40 left. Curry's got the ball. Western New England's up 42-28 right now. And there's a penalty being called and sportsmanlike conduct apparently on Curry and on Western New England. So getting a little chippy there, it seems like, at the end of the game.
That's his 7th touchdown of the year quietly. That's one of the best in the Liberty League. Again, this is a 2-headed monster that not a lot of people give credit for.
Yeah, okay, I got it's same 42-28 score in Curry, but it's 4:40 left on the clock. It is now Western New England ball.
Helped set up their offense and set up their pass as well.
Oh yeah, they point in the wrong direction, or the scoreboard's pointing in the wrong direction on the video that we can't share with folks. Look at that amazing crowd there that could have joined us.
Yeah, right.
David Prudhomme is set to boot this one.
Yeah, I said it, folks.
Dutchman as they find
and Curry's burning timeouts right now, trying to get the ball back, but they're down 2 possessions. I think it looks like Western New England is going to end up being the champion.
The difference, Chad.
No, absolutely. The turnover differential, like we had talked about, they were plus all year long. In this game, -2. If you're at plus in the turnover differential, you're going to want that to be, a strong suit of yours, and it was not today. They really shot themselves in the foot with a couple of these fumbles. But, if you're Ithaca, you got to keep it up. A little extracurricular going on between.
It's hard to see the clock from my side, Frank. It looks like there's about 1 minute 20 seconds left.
1:26 left, yes.
Try to, piss you off or ignore you a little bit. Excuse me there. And try to get under your skin a little bit.
Excuse your French, young man.
Keeping their composure.
Yeah. It sounds of live television or whatever this is, or what we're calling it.
Well, I think the Park School teaches them better than that.
Keep, that to a minimum.
Yeah.
In the meantime, Misericordia is trying to climb back into the game against Widener. If they can make that a 2-possession game, we'll point it out to you. But right now it's 27-6.
Yeah, you want to hear a crazy score update, Frank?
Go ahead.
SUNY Maritime had to hang on. Actually, we had to come back to win 17-14 against Dean. Ties the school record for the second, or no, ties the 2011 team for the second most wins in school history. Improves them to 8-1. They are not going to go to the playoffs necessarily, but they'll be in some sort of postseason bowl game based on that record alone.
Dean unfortunately never got back to us to broadcast that game because that was, I believe, one of them on our list.
7-2, 3-1 in the conference.
But as you stated there, interesting score. That probably should have been more like a 60-14 game, right?
So that will figure to be a Another big game.
Widener just hit with a late hit on a quarterback foul, so Kings, did I say Misericordia earlier? Kings is trying to make their way down the field, sorry.
Yeah, and they do have a pretty strong offense, so I could see them make it a game if they can get things clicking, but I think Widener's defense will probably nip that in the bud.
By the other teams in terms of that, but a good job of bringing in the right guys into his program, guys who he thinks are going to be established winners. That's one thing we had talked. Me and AJ had talked to him about was changing the culture in the locker room, getting guys who really bought into the system. They've got guys who really buy into the system. So I got to give a lot of credit for Union. Tough loss today for them, but they've been playing very well all year long. Got to give them a lot of credit for a team that 2 years ago, 3 years ago was a laughingstock almost.
Yeah, Jeff Berman inherited this team, like you said, when they were winless, 3-7 last season, to improve by drastically coming into this game having won 7 in a row. They have had
I think it's been such an interesting team this season, Frank. Times they've looked unbeatable, and then other times they just. And I don't know what happened in that RPI game with all those turnovers. A little bit of Jekyll and Hyde, but I think Coach Swanstrom's on the right track, and he's going to make this team more consistent over time. They're only going to get better.
I agree with you there. It was a season where they couldn't seem to beat an Empire 8 opponent until Utica, really, and then dropped one they really shouldn't have probably against RPI, against a freshman quarterback.
Yeah.
Flags, it seems, on every single play, but they're going to pick that one up. So it's second down.
The quarterback that I can't pronounce.
With just over a minute to go.
Marinopolis.
Marinopolis. I got to work on my Greek.
Marinopolis.
Marinopolis. Okay.
There you go. He's not like Marionette. It's Marinopolis.
Oh, wow. That was a long pass. Didn't quite connect, though.
Nope. He was looking for Beal again on a long pass route there. In the meantime, Trinity's trying here. I mean, it can't be like more than a minute left on the clock.
Yeah, all these games are sort of winding down. Except, obviously, Kings Widener is still in the top of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, watch that one a little bit in the upper right-hand corner of your screen right now because.
Too many. I'm sure Dan Swanstrom will.
Ooh, shot block against Trinity.
Yikes. That's frustration setting in a little bit.
Kings is trying to make this a two-possession game at the beginning of the fourth quarter here.
Yeah. It's Curry ball with 4 minutes and 14 seconds at their 6-yard line. A long way to go for them.
I think Coach Swanstrom is going to get his guys in the right position to succeed.
And again, because of the imbalanced schedule that occurred with Ithaca joining the Liberty League, Ithaca is done with league games. They play Cortland next week in Cortica, as you pointed out earlier. So that's why we end up in this odd situation where Union is Ithaca's proxy next week in the Dutchman Shoes game for the playoffs.
Only lost once
Yep.
on their own stadium.
Yeah.
So having them come.
Well, it's good that we get to sort of double down. This was definitely a championship Saturday, but there are still going to be a few conferences that will be decided on the last weekend, and that's exciting.
When the Red Dragons come to town.
As long as Western New England holds the form here against Curry, that there will be 3 games that matter. Again, running them down: Del Val, Widener,
The final score will be
Union versus RPI, but the winner of that game doesn't go per se. If it's Ithaca, if it's Union, it's Ithaca really going. And then I keep forgetting the third one today. Forgive me. We've got like conference races all over the place going on in our heads.
And they took advantage of turnovers.
The NUMAC, technically.
Yeah. MIT only has 1 loss, and they could create effectively a tie for the championship. It looks like that's a final in Ithaca, 20-3.
Well, Ithaca's done what they had to do. Now it's a question of RPI Union next week in the Dutchman Shoes game. Union eliminated from playoff contention, but they have not filed for an ECAC Bowl. We're going to talk a lot more about that in our host chat this weekend. About the ECACs. You would think that with a record like that, they would definitely qualify for somebody's bowl game. But remember, if they don't win next week, they won't be in the place for New York Bowl.
Really only 13
yeah.
points in the past 3 games. If this defense
So
plays
let's
like they did today, it's going to be tough for
see
Portland to
between
really
these two
move
games.
the
Let's go to the end of this Trinity Amherst game.
Right up against it now. Here's the ball down the field and caught by Samuelson. That's a first
By the way,
down.
great accent on this play-by-play guy.
Goes Samuelson with the first down catch. 25 yards.
Yeah, he's like, it's like Crocodile Dundee.
Now keep hope alive. First and 10.
New Zealand, I want to say.
Midfield.
Probably, yeah.
So
He does. He sounds like my
downfield
buddy
is
Perry.
Sonny Puzo getting sacked
38.
again.
Andrew Yaman.
And I think you can pretty much put the nail in the coffin on Curry. And another interception of Alex Corvese has the Bears with the ball at the 29-yard line with 3 minutes to go. Probably will punch it in, look for one more score, whether it's a kick or a touchdown. And pretty safe to say Western New England has just won the CCC title.
So like we said, Plymouth State from the MASCAC. Western New England most likely from the CCC. Wesley from the NJAC. Brockport from the Empire 8.
Looked like zeros or sixes.
And Husson from the ECFC. Those are the 5 teams that punched their tickets. That's why we did it this weekend, folks, because we thought that more teams than not would be able to punch their tickets. Next week, you can focus on the 3 games. It's a lot easier to focus on 3 than 13, which is what we were trying to do a little bit today at certain points.
Yeah.
I should have it. Exactly where it needed to go and got there.
What's the time left,
First and 10.
Sir with the great accent?
51 seconds.
51 seconds.
So looking, drops it off short to Max Chapuris, trying to get out of bounds, and finally does.
Chapuris had a great weekend last weekend with 150-ish yards, I think it was, and a couple of scores.
Out of bounds. Matt Jubero was also there. Stops the clock with 43 seconds to play.
Ooh, look at this. Kings almost gets a safety in the Widener game.
Yeah. Wow. Under 2 minutes now. Western New England's probably just going to try to run it down, either kick a field goal or run the clock out.
To get hammered, but
Curry is out of timeouts.
Down to the 15-yard line. And again, the clock is stopped.
Not afford a mistake here.
10 from the 16. The throw has Chapuris in the flat. Chapuris trying to make a man miss. Get in the end zone. Can't do it. John Rack met him at the 3-yard line, and Rack is shaken up. And John needs to get off the field. He looks wobbly. First and goal. Chapuris left side into the end zone. Touchdown, Bantams.
Well, you know, interestingly enough, there's still time on that clock if they get an onside kick.
An onside kick attempt.
No kidding. Huh. This thing's got a little interesting there again.
Go for 1 here, go for 2 later, if you get it.
Points coming late.
Yeah, I think that's the right call.
And they'll have a chance with an onside kick, and who knows? Last extra point was blocked. Let's see if they can do it again. The 36, Eric Sachs. Is good.
Widener came back all the way from that 1-yard line, 2nd and 23, to get a first down. And I think that really puts the nail in the coffin for Kings. If they were going to get back in this game, they needed to stop them and basically score quickly.
Quarter number 4.
So Del Val Widener will be a big game.
Fires to Downey. That pass is complete.
Yeah, that's
football comes loose. Whistle had blown.
Nate Terrell as well. John Ballard.
Hey, James.
Wow.
Pretty much our last big play, I think, of our show here, barring some big change to Widener Kings in the next minute or 2.
Yep.
If Trinity recovers this onside kick.
Anthony Service just made a first down pass on a fourth. Well, it was a 4th down. They went for it. He completed a pass for a first down. I think it's victory formation from here, unless they just want to go for a. No, they're
right, here we go.
They're going to try and score.
Ball's
There's
bounced.
a kick.
Hello, we've got a scrum.
Looked like this
I think Amos
could
recovered.
have gone the bounce way, but I think the Amherst player nearest the ball was able to scoop it in just in the nick of time.
That was lucky,
I think
though,
that'll
because
do
it
it.
took that bounce that you really want to get, off the player.
Take a knee, and that'll do it.
Yeah, Anthony Service took a knee. It's a final from, I think it's Medford, I believe, where Curry is. And Western New England improves to 7-2, and they are your CCC champs.
28-20.
And Amherst, I don't know if they really break the tie with the head-to-head. I think they just call them co-champions ultimately. So Trinity and Amherst will become co-champions, assuming both win next week, but they each have one game left. Amherst plays who?
Trinity will drop to 7-1.
You know the answer to this. Come on.
Game next week. Williams at
Middlebury.
Amherst at Williams.
Come on.
Williams.
Will play Trinity.
Stupid.
That'll do it.
That was a dumb.
28-20.
That was a trick question. Yeah, the biggest
Mammoths.
little game in America.
And it was Wesleyan versus Trinity next week, so that'll be what decides the NESCAC, essentially, those two games.
Evan Haas.
And Widener here still leading by 21 with 9 minutes left.
For the Monarchs came across the field from the bench.
He actually should be thrown out. You can't come off the bench.
Whoops. Not good.
Famous running back from the Raiders that did that in the game got a game suspension. Yep, little Marshawn Lynch did that in a pro game. You cannot come off your own bench when there's a fight going on.
We'll look back at the replay and make sure Johnston wasn't in there, but nevertheless, after the play was starting to settle down, he jumped in a Widener Pride player's face and gave him a shot up underneath.
Yes, we got
face mask.
5 conference champs today. Not too shabby.
There's a lot to sort out. We're going to take a break with 9 minutes and 29 seconds.
They're going to take a break. Wait, we don't get breaks. How do they get breaks?
Yeah, right. Come on, man. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we're forgetting, but I think like you said, Frank, I think this is it.
Yeah, Jameson, we'll put that into a box with us here as we take their break out of our shot, or our audio shot. But it was a lot of fun, actually. A little bit tough to stick with all the action when things were kind of coming fast and furious. It's missed a couple of big plays in that WestCon game, but we got the ultimate big play, which was Framingham State winning with 10 seconds left. Got back there in time for that. And I'll tell you, as I said to you, WestCon was playing such relaxed coverage. They've just let them get down the field, assuming, hey, well, they'll go for the field goal and we may block the kick, but instead let them get the touchdown to win the game. And that was that. The Wesley game, I'm surprised that Wesley in Salisbury didn't come down to the final gun, basically. They led by 10 points, kind of in the second half made some huge adjustments. Reminded me of the Linfield game a number of years ago in the playoffs, where Wesley just couldn't seem to get themselves together in the first half, and then come out in the second half and just hand it to them as hand their backsides to them is where I'm going with that. So Wesley comes out and wins that one and wins the NJAC that way. The Ithaca game, you know what? We bet against Union so many times this season, and eventually, odds would say they were going to lose the game based on what they were coming back from and all that stuff. But at the same time, it was never a sure thing. It seemed like 3-0, 3-3, 6-3, and a whole lot of penalties going around in that game. And I think Ithaca was the better team out of the two today, based on the offenses at least. And they do win, but got to take your hat off to Union and Coach Behrman. They got to sort of get back on their horse here. RPI could go to the playoffs next week. Think about that. A team left for dead a few years ago.
Yeah. And in big trouble when they got shut out by Hobart in like week 5 or 6. So they really turned it around, and they're playing well.
Maybe we'll have Coach Isernia on.
Yeah, he's always been a good guest for us, and he's done a great job with that program.
With respect to Husson, they just dominated early and often. We took a whole 2 looks at that game, and there was no need to go back to it. We're sorry we didn't get the celebration. But then Brockport and Alfred, we've not gotten a response, I don't believe, to our text from Joe Germanero or to Joe Germanero that we sent. Check on his status. But I truly hope that Brockport did not try to, quote, get even with Alfred, taking out their quarterback afterward. There was a roughing the passer call there.
It didn't seem like it the way the teams were exchanging handshakes before the clock ran out. Just a really physical, hard-hitting game. And I'm not a medical expert, but from what I could see from the film, it looked like Joe was basically hit hard in the chest and then landed on the turf pretty like almost like a falling straight backwards. And so it could have been got the wind knocked out of him. He could have had
concussion.
a concussion. So the good news for Brockport is that if it is a quote unquote minor injury, and concussion certainly is no laughing matter, they don't need him to play next week in order for the playoffs. But it'll be the concussion protocol. I'm sure they'll follow all the medical procedures that they need to. If it's something more serious, like cracked ribs or whatever it could be, I hope it's not season ending.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
So, James, thanks for doing this with me today. It was a lot of fun. It looks like Widener's in control. Del Val's in control. So, again, you can see on the screen Del Val Widener is the MAC title game with this win by the Pride. And next week, you'll have 3 games to watch. One more time, run them down. Del Val Widener, Union RPI, though Ithaca is the team, not Union, that could go. And then on top of that, we should also talk about the 2 NESCAC games, I guess, as well. But the Pool B game, essentially, which is Springfield, MIT. Springfield needs to win that game for the new MAC to get a playoff bid. There's no doubt that MIT at 2 losses would not go, and Springfield at 1 loss most likely would not go either. So that's how things play out here. And again, folks, thanks for joining us. We do appreciate it. Let us know what you thought of the show if you get a chance to. This was the D3BlitzER show, and we will see you with host chat and some interviews throughout the week. And also, we'll go live again on Wednesday with the second set of the regional rankings. Take care.
Thanks.